and here for a Saturday edition of the Sheffy Show, going around all of the games in the NBA. Here today we have the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Indiana Pacers. Let's start the dang show. Let's get into it. We are back once again here today, a Saturday edition, a little earlier than usual, although we did also have a 7 o'clock start time yesterday. So here we have the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Indiana Pacers, and the last time we checked in on the Pacers, they were pretty impressive. Now obviously it's preseason, you don't want to make too grand of an opinion on one team's play style or whatever, but obviously we got to keep an eye on the Indiana Pacers and how they play moving forward this season without their star point guard Tyrese Halliburton, the engine of their team, right? So we got to keep an eye on them. And the last time we saw them, they played a Memphis Grizzlies team that didn't have any of their players playing. They're all injured. Ja was out, Jaren Jackson Jr. was out, Zach Edey was out. All these guys were out. And so here tonight, they're taking on the Oklahoma City Thunders. And so it's kind of a finals rematch, but obviously not really. Right now, as for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm not entirely sure who's going to play today. That's what I was looking up before we started the stream. I was trying to look up if the Thunder are going to announce if anybody's going to be sitting out. Because here in preseason, this is something we've had to keep track of. Last night, coming off a game in which we watched the Toronto Raptors take on the Boston Celtics, in which both teams set majority of their normal starters. And so here we are, right? So we're looking it up. So real quick, before we get to the player graphs, before we go through each team's rotation, let me just look up the Thunder real quick, make sure our stars are going to be in the game. I do believe J-Dub will not start the year, so he should not be playing in any of these preseason games. I don't think he has. The Thunder starting lineup, A.J. Mitchell, Kason Wallace, Brooks Brown-Steer, Aaron Wiggins, and Ousmane Dieng. God, I did see SGA play the other day. This was posted 2 minutes ago. So we're going to get a bench unit game from both of these guys. But look, we tuned into that last night, and we still got an incredibly entertaining game, especially down the stretch. So hopefully we get one here tonight. Indiana, but on the other end, are they going to play their guys? Is Siakam out there? Is, what's his name going to be out there? Nembhard, who is now kind of going to shoulder a large offensive role for the Pacers here as the new starting point guard until Halliburton can get back. Do we have anything for the Pacers here? Nothing as of yet. So we're going to not care if me is lower expectations. Pacers. Okay. So nothing about the Pacers yet, but we do know that the Thunder will be starting a lot of their bench guys. And so we're going to rock out with it. Is there any other games that we could possibly... Atlanta-Memphis is an 8 o'clock start time. It's a little later than this game, so by the time we get to halftime, maybe we could swap over to that game. We'll see how the rest of the night goes, but I assume this is going to end up being a very fun, very entertaining game, as they tend to be. So let's get right into the Oklahoma City Thunder going into this year. While we won't get to see these guys play here tonight, we can real quick go through SGA. Real simple, this man is the MVP. Won MVP last year. We know what he's capable of. 32 goddamn points last year, damn near 33, 5 boards, 6.4 assists, does a little bit of everything. Also can be a defensive maestro, being a playmaker on the defensive end, 1.7 steals, 1 block a game, 2.4 turnovers is also not even really that bad. Now, obviously, we know the OKC team is stacked with talent, stacked with playmakers, ball handlers, high IQ player is very obviously the priority of this front office, this regime, building this team out. SGA also hyper efficient, 52% from the field, damn near 90% from the foul line, 37.5 from three-point range. There's really nothing he can't do, which is why he won MVP last year. Not a whole lot to talk about with SGA. We know what he's capable of. When you win MVP, I'm just going to simply say, we know what you can do. So you're just hoping he has an off night. You put a big, long defender on him who can slide his feet, and hopefully you can bait him to one-on-one play all night and ignoring his teammates, and you just pray for the best. You hope for the best. We get over to the second star coming out party last year for J-Dub. Jalen Williams, 6'5" out of Santa Clara, small forward. Seems a bit undersized, but then you look at his wingspan, you look at his build. He's got a big barrel chest. He can barrel his way through the lane, bulldoze people out of the way, plays a lot bigger than what his size says. Last year, 21.6 points per game, 5 and 5. Also a playmaker on the other end. A lot of these guys have similar qualities. Again, very, very identifiable and specific way that this regime has built this team, that this front office has built this roster out, right? They identified things that they like in players, and they went out and acquired those players and hope that they can develop into the kind of players overall that they would like to see. J-Dub, SGA, will get the Chet Holmgren, will get the guys like Caruso and Hartenstein that they acquired in off seasons and in trades and whatnot. But J-Dub here, again, does a little bit of everything. 2.2 turnovers, also not bad for a guy who handles and has the responsibility that he does. But J-Dub, with the hand injury, I don't think is going to be ready to start the year. Either way, he's not playing tonight, right? 48.4% from the field, almost 80% from the foul line. We could up those numbers a little bit. The efficiency can get there a little bit more. It takes a bit of a hit with the three-point percentage. This is on like okay volume, not the greatest of volume, pretty low actually. You want to see him get that a little bit higher. But one of the youngest teams in the league, I should have put age up here. Age might be better than weight. So maybe as the season goes on, before we start the regular season, I'll go in and I'll add age in here because that is a big piece of the information, more so than weight, right? We don't need weight up there. We're still learning. We get to Chet Holmgren. 7-1 out of Gonzaga again. Huge year last year, big coming out parties. But, you know, when you win the NBA Finals as one of the youngest teams in NBA history to win a Finals, everyone, I start to label guys as like, oh, big coming out party for this guy last year. 15 points per game, 8 boards, 2 assists, 0.7 steals, 2.2 blocks. He's an excellent rim protector, excellent defender, backline defender. Biggest issue, strength, mobility, maybe not necessarily mobility, but side-to-side mobility, and rebounding. Rebounding also kind of plays into a factor of the strength thing. 49% from the field as a big isn't the greatest, but he's more of a perimeter big, likes to ball handle out on the perimeter, take a lot of perimeter jump shots. 38% for three-point range is pretty damn good. Even if it's on not the kind of volume you want to see yet, clearly working on it, but the percentage is there. Just got to start to increase that volume. 75% from the foul line is pretty good for a big. That's what you'd like to see. Obviously, for a guy who has the kind of touch that he has to shoot three-pointers, you'd like to see the free throw percentage be higher, but not that big of a deal. Still young, still learning, going to get there overall at some point. We get to the trader, the Benedict Arnold of the NBA, a truly, truly horrific man right here. This man does not deserve to have a player graphic right here. You guys know how I feel about Isaiah Hartenstein. Get him out of here. He did have an excellent season last year, 11.2 points per game, 10.7 rebounds, damn near 4 assists, with 1.7 turnovers, 1.1 blocks, 0.8 steals, does a little bit of everything. Again, high IQ basketball player, 58% from the floor, 82% from the foul line. My goodness, 35% from three-point range on like almost non-existent three-point volume. He doesn't really want to take those. The percentage is a little misleading because obviously it says, oh, he could hit him. He could be a bit of a stretch big. Nobody is guarding Isaiah Hartenstein out by the three-point line, afraid of his three-point shooting. If anything, they're guarding him out by the three-point line because they're afraid of his handoff game. Then we get over to Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso, 6'5". We know who he is, one of the best, if not the best perimeter defender in the NBA. This man is a playmaker on defense. We saw him guarding Nikola Jokic in the playoffs last year. One of the big reasons why OKC ended up knocking off Denver in that 7-game series. In Game 7, Caruso had the big assignment of guarding Jokic, fronted him, frustrated him, and then with the help of his teammates, ultimately neutralized them, as much as we've seen Jokic be neutralized in a while. You look at the counting stats, nothing's going to really jump out at you. 7, 3, 2.5. Nothing spectacular, only 0.7 turnovers, only 1.6 steals. You're not going to look at the box scores and be like, oh yeah, Alex Caruso, one of the most impactful role players in the NBA. But when you watch him play, he's all over the place. He's a great leader. He's got great hands, incredibly high IQ basketball player. The athleticism starting to decline from once when he was the bald eagle. Now, a little bit more grounded, but still gets the job done. 82% from the foul line, 44% from the field, 35% from three-point range. You can get it done. We get over to Lou Dort. Lou Dort getting to learn from a guy like Alex Caruso when he was already one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, only getting better as he gets older. And the big knock on Lou Dort throughout his career as he was developing was this number right here. Can he become a knockdown three-point shooter? And while he isn't a knockdown three-point shooter, you'll still live with Lou Dort launching threes. you can't really leave him open anymore. You have to close out hard to him because if you give him wide open looks, he's gonna knock him down. He can shoot the three now. He is a viable threat from the perimeter. And again, you might live with him living and dying by 3-point shooting all night rather than having SGA take you off the bounce or J-Dub taking off your bounce or having Chet Holmgren involved in the offense. If you can direct the ball over to Lou Dort to take threes, you might live with that as OKC's main source of offense. But you can't leave him wide open, standing in the corner, standing out on the wing, as you once were able to. And he proved during the finals run that, hey, yeah, I'm a great defender, but I've been working on my offensive game. 10 points per game last year, 4 boards. Again, he's not doing a whole lot of ball handling or creating. Ball's touching his hands, and he's either swinging it or he's getting that shot up. And while the counting stats don't look at 1.1 steals, 0.5 blocks, right, you're not going to look at that and go, oh, he's a great defender. But these aren't signs of great defenders, right? Lou Dort is one of the most disruptive physical defenders, frustrates you, annoys you, makes you very upset. You start complaining to the ref saying he's hand-checking me, this guy's playing football all night, you got to call a foul on him, and that's his job. Because then he hands you off to a guy like Cason Wallace, who we'll get to, hands you off to a guy like Alex Caruso or even J-Dub or even SGA, and then all of a sudden you're frustrated, you're going at those guys, and with those big, long wingspans, then they start getting steals. Right? And the next thing you know, you don't even want to bring the ball down the court anymore. I'm handing it off to my guy over there. I'm going to go stand over here. You bring the ball down this time. You get the Cason Wallace, just mentioned. Cason Wallace, in his second year last year, kind of became, maybe not the sixth man because that's kind of Alex Caruso's role, or even Hartenstein. But Cason Wallace, one of the most important and impactful 7th or 8th men in the NBA. Probably is going to continue to get better. Last year was his second year in the league. He's going into his 3rd year in the league this season. You get Cason Wallace, 6'3" out of Kentucky. Them Kentucky guards, man. You can't go wrong with them Kentucky guards. 8.4 points per game last year, 3.4 rebounds, 2.5 assists. The counting stats, not all that spectacular. But these numbers right here, 47% from the field, 35% from three-point line, make him incredibly valuable because you throw on top of his defensive ability, right? The ability to guard up. At 6'3", not the smallest guy, obviously not the biggest guy, but he can guard up. 1.8 steals per game. He can be a playmaker as a defender, kind of a wild defender, but when you toss in the mix of SGA, J-Dub, Caruso, and Dort, and then you have this guy as possibly maybe the worst defender of those group. Maybe SGA is the worst defender, but he's lower on the totem pole compared to those guys, and he's still a spectacular defender. It just makes his impact felt even more because if you have him on the 2nd or 3rd or 4th option, those guys aren't necessarily used to putting the ball on the floor anyway. And if he's guarding those guys, he's just going to make those guys' lives incredibly more difficult. And then you get the Aaron Wiggins, the man who saved basketball, 6'5" out of Maryland, 12 points per game last year, 3.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists. It was at a point where Aaron Wiggins really did save a stretch of the season there for OKC as they were dealing with a couple of injuries here and there. They were entering late stages in basketball games, and they needed somebody to get hot. And Aaron Wiggins got hot. This man even saved the game for them during their NBA playoff run. It was an incredibly important game. Was it the finals game? I can't remember specifically. I don't know if it was the finals game or maybe one of those Denver games in that series. But counting stats, again, aren't going to look too impressive for a bench player. 38.3% from three-point range, can be a pretty good slasher, good athletic finisher, attacks a closeout really well, and again, high IQ basketball player. You're going to hear me say that over and over and over again when we start talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder because that is the ethos of their team construction. If you don't think the game a specific way, you could see it through all of the guys they draft, right? Their rookie coming in this year who was redshirted his first year with the injury, Nikola Jovic? No, what's his name? Nikola Topic. Another Nikola, and another Itch coming into the league. Nikola Topic, a backup guard, a big and tall backup guard, by the way, who's going to be probably garnering minutes with this Thunder team. But, you know, this Thunder team is so deep, you never know. You never know. But high IQ role player Aaron Wiggins, you come in, you see if he has it going, and if not, you can pull him out of the game and go to somebody else. And if he does have it going, boy, oh boy, are you in for a long night because now you got to deal with this guy after dealing with SGA, after dealing with J-Dub, after dealing with Lou Dort and Cason Wallace and Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren all over the place. And then you got this guy coming into the game. Incredibly annoying how deep this Thunder team can go. AP, what's up, AP? Daniel Berry Sports, Big Rud, appreciate y'all. Justice's dad, I appreciate everybody coming in here tonight. AP said OKC win the NBA title, but no one remembers it. I remember it. It was nobody. I think a lot of people remember. A lot of people are going to be scared. Not necessarily scared, but taking notice of OKC and what they did last year. And that's OKC's rotation as of right now. Obviously, we got Nikola Topic. We got guys like Isaiah Joe. They have guys who they're going to be playing off the bench this year that will fill in as the season goes on. But those are the guys who are definitely 100% a part of the rotation. We get to the Indiana Pacers, and we have gone through the Indiana Pacers before so far here in the preseason, and we'll see who's starting for them here tonight. I hope they're starting their guys because they should be starting their guys. Let's look up the Pacers again, see maybe if they posted their lineups yet. They did. Cam Payne is in the starting lineup along with Benedict Mathurin, Jarace Walker, Obi Toppin, and Isaiah Jackson. So no Nembhard and no Pascal Siakam. So we get yet another starless preseason game. Okay, fine. Whatever. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's enjoy ourselves. So no Pascal Siakam here tonight, but we did see him earlier in the preseason game against the Memphis Grizzlies. 20 points per game last year, 6.9 rebounds, damn near 7, 3.5 assists. We know what Pascal Siakam is capable of. They had the finals run last year. He is a former champion playing with the Toronto Raptors alongside Kawhi Leonard. And obviously now without Halliburton, he's going to have a little bit of a different play style where the ball is going to have to be funneled through him a little bit more often. You know, Indiana's going to want to try and maintain as much of their offense as possible, but it's not the easiest thing when the engine of your offense is out with an injury for the whole year. So expect Pascal Siakam to have a little bit more of a workload. Maybe these counting stats go up, but maybe these percentages fall, especially this three-point percentage at 38.9. But Indiana has such a solid system in place where all these guys have completely bought in. Part of the reason why they made the finals run when I don't know if anybody had the Indiana Pacers making a finals run last year, let alone a Game 7 finals run against the juggernaut of OKC where everybody was like, they'll beat them in about 5, maybe 6 games, and then they forced the Game 7. And it looked like they were going to take it until Halliburton went down, obviously. So expect Pascal Siakam to maybe improve on these counting stats, but take a hit with the percentages not having his superstar point guard alongside of him this season. We get over to the man who will be taking over those point guard duties. The backcourt mate of Tyrese Halliburton, a guy who had a bit of a coming out party during that playoff run, during that finals run, Andrew Nembhard, who is going to take it upon himself to do a little bit more, maybe a lot bit more. We'll see. 10 points per game last year, 3.3 rebounds, 5 assists. He is a point guard at 6'4", pretty good point guard, pretty good size for a point guard as well, right? So he will be taking on the full-time point guard responsibilities. Obviously, they got a good mix of guys who can do some ball handling with Benedict Mathurin, TJ McConnell off the bench. They got Cam Payne. They had DeLon Wright. We'll see who they end up bringing on the final roster and whatnot. But these counting stats are all going to go up. Even if these percentages stay the same, 29% from three-point range last year. He did struggle from the perimeter, shot it better during the playoff run. I expect the confidence to grow, and I expect his impact to be much higher this year and kind of mimic who he was in the playoffs here during the course of the regular season. We'll see how long he'll be able to maintain it because an 82-game grind, and it starts to wear on you. We'll see if he starts to wear on him or if he truly thrives in that role, right? It could be a huge, the silver lining in it of losing Halliburton for the whole season this year is maybe you get a big bump from Andrew Nembhard having to step into a bigger role, like having to do that, not just, I've been working on my game, let me try doing more. Like, no, I have to. I don't have an option. The team needs me. We get over to Aaron Nesmith, who is also out tonight, 12 points per game. We know this man is a sniper. What's his percentage? 43% from three-point range. My goodness, Aaron Nesmith, this man is dangerous. He had 8 three-pointers in the fourth quarter against our Knicks and ended up beating the Knicks. We don't need to talk about game 1 of the conference finals. But Aaron Nesmith is a dangerous man when he has it going. Unfortunately, we won't see him tonight, but obviously his role is a 3-and-D guy. You want to run him off the line. You want to force him to make decisions with the ball in his hands and keep it out of Siakam or Andrew Nembhard's hands as much as possible. He's a decent decision maker, but not the greatest decision maker. And so the more decisions you have Aaron Nesmith make for the Indiana Pacers, probably the better. Speaking of that, we get to Ben Mathurin, who in a similar situation as Aaron Nesmith, maybe the guy you want with the ball in his hands if you're the opponent, just because it takes it out of the hands of the other guys. And Ben Mathurin, he wants to do this right now, right here. He wants to put up numbers. He wants to get them points, right? He has a score-first mentality, and being with Indiana and the way they brought him along and the way he has developed and the way they have developed him, He has gotten much better in his decision making, but there's still holes there. He still can be a little bit of a black hole, little tunnel vision. Like, no, I can go get this bucket. I can knock down this fall away mid range jumper, and it's like we don't need that at this moment, right? He has gotten significantly better at that, but they will need his scoring. They will need his impact this season, especially in the first preseason game. We saw him be extremely impactful defensively. We'll see if he continues to keep that up here in this game tonight, where he will probably be, not even probably, he will be the focal point of the offense with no Siakam, no Nembhard, no Nesmith. He will be the focal point of the offense here tonight for the Indiana Pacers. We'll see how he handles it and what it looks like. We get over to the Demon. I don't need to say anything about the Demon, right? McConnell is the scariest backup guards I've ever laid eyes on in an NBA uniform. Don't be fooled by his stature, 6'1". He's probably shorter than that out of Arizona. This man is a demon on the court. There's nothing you can do. There is no guarding TJ McConnell, right? This man can't even shoot a three-point shot, 30% from three-point range last year on pretty low volume. Can't hit a three-point shot, and yet there still is no guarding TJ McConnell. It makes no sense. I can't explain it. I don't understand how this man continues to create space out of the mid-range. He is a master. If you are an undersized guard, this is the guy you probably should be watching. Like Jalen Brunson, you're probably never going to be able to mimic his ability, his footwork, his maneuvering, all of the things. You need to be watching TJ McConnell if you're an undersized guard in your life right now. This is the guy you need to be watching. There is no explanation for the things he can do. He is incredible. He is incredible. Probably one of my favorite players in the league, and I hate that he's on the Pacers because I'd love to root for him. He'd be an incredible New York Knick. We get over to Isaiah Jackson, who it looks like will get the nod for the Miles Turner void as the starting center, the new starting center for the Indiana Pacers. He's a bit, obviously, more limited than Miles Turner. Not a floor stretcher, 0% from three-point range, doesn't take threes. 71.6% from the foul line, not terrible for a big, right? I always say at least 70 for a big. 65 is like, but I'll take it. Anything below that's like you got to get better at it. 71.6% for Isaiah Jackson last year, and obviously an injury-riddled year, didn't play a whole lot. But he's back, healthy, ready to go, ready to fill in the void that Miles Turner will lead, alongside the guy who looks like he's going to be a backup in Jay Huff, but we'll get to him. Isaiah Jackson's your classic rim runner, good rim protector, can do a little bit of everything as a big man in terms of play out of the short roll. Not the greatest at it, but he can. Good lob threat, good vertical threat, pretty good rebounder, battles on the offensive glass. He's going to have to get better as a defensive rebounder if he wants to be a starting center in the NBA. He may just sort of be the tentative starter, and Indiana will figure that out as they go on, or maybe he'll develop into their legit starting big. But time will tell. He's going to get the opportunity this year in the first season without Miles Turner in a while. 7 years I think he's spent here with Indiana. So brand new starting center for Indiana for the first time in a while. We get over to his backup, a guy who I really like, an underrated pickup for the Indiana Pacers last year, Jay Huff. Huff and Puff, Huff the man, Jay the man, Huff and Puff. Jay Huff, 7'1" out of Virginia. He looks like he's really stressing in his life right now. That hair is receding. That beard is growing a little too long, my brother. You got to clean yourself up. 7 points per game, 2 rebounds, 0.6 assists. The counting stats don't look very good, but he can do this. He can step out, shoot a three-point shot. He gives you that Miles Turner-esque space that Isaiah Jackson isn't going to be able to provide. Decent rim protect for his size in limited minutes for Memphis last year. He did make an impact as a guy who can be a vertical lob threat, can battle on the glass a little bit. Not the greatest rebounder, but he can battle on the glass. He gives you a lot of extra effort and hustle and whatnot. So in an increased role as the true blue backup big to Isaiah Jackson this year, he's looking to garner himself some notoriety around the league and then maybe pick up a bigger contract in the offseason. And then we get to Obadiah Toppin. Once a Nick, always a Nick, Obi Toppin. Love you, miss you, wish you the best, big Obi. 10.5 points per game, 4 boards. Not the greatest rebounder. We know Obi, he's an energy big. Give him the ball out on the break. He wants to get downhill. He wants to give you highlight plays. He has gotten better as an overall basketball player. Just as a solid team defender, not a very good one-on-one defender. Can sometimes be lost. The awareness can sometimes not be where you need it to be. But overall, he is an all right team defender, especially when he's playing alongside another rim protector like a Isaiah Jackson, like maybe even a Jay Huff. We'll see how the combination of those guys will play out and what the chemistry is like between them. 78.1% from the foul line, 36.5% from three-point range is really solid. And again, mostly is a rim runner, a guy who gets down on the fast break, a cutter, excellent cutter, by the way. 53% from the field is really good for a guy like Obi Toppin and what his role is. Toppin is a wild card for the Pacers. Sometimes he's out there and you're like, ooh, he's really messing up. Coach, you got to take him out. But I think Carlisle has gotten the right feel for Obi Toppin because as long as the motor is there, as long as the energy is there, he knows that even if he's making bad plays and he's having a negative impact on the game, the scales of that will turn at some point where it'll lean more towards positive with Obi Toppin the longer he plays, especially playing alongside good players who can hide some of his deficiencies. And Indiana and Rick Carlisle have done an excellent job of doing that for one Mr. Obadiah Toppin. Now, we have hit 7 o'clock. Tip-off will probably be like another 5 to 10 minutes because that's how the NBA rolls. They never tip it off at the exact time that they tell us. But that is, I believe, the end of our pregame wrap-up here. Cool, we got it done just in time. Got 10 more minutes. We got 10 minutes to spare. What's popping, people? Again, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get to see a lot of the stars play here tonight, but that's what you get with preseason basketball. It is what it is, right? AP was up, my guy. Nobody wants to play their players in the preseason anymore. If you're, it makes sense for a team like OKC and a team like Indiana who have their system in place. They made the finals run last year. They know what they're doing. Like in terms of like their players, everybody, they're not trying to work anything super new in. They're not like obviously the Pacers figuring out how to play without Halliburton, but that is sort of a season-long process that will come to an end because Halliburton will make his return next year. But teams like Indiana and OKC have the ability to sit their guys out just because it's the preseason. We got them out there. They looked good. All right, sit down. Let's get ready for when we roll the ball out for real. For the regular season, not that big of a deal for teams like this. For teams like New York, teams like Toronto, which is why I didn't understand why Toronto didn't play their guys. Teams like New York, obviously we're Knicks fans, so I constantly bring them up. But teams like New York need to play their guys because they have an entirely new offensive system. We heard Mike Brown talk about, like, I haven't even instituted any offensive plays yet. Like, we're just instituting the system and our key things that we're focusing on in terms of, like, getting into the paint and spraying it to the corners, sprinting to the corners. When we come down the lane, you want a guy in the left lane, guy in the right lane, sprinting to the corners. You want the big down the middle, or whoever's coming down the middle, big forward, and then you want the guard bringing it down on one of the wings. And if you can ride the wave of the defense in transition, and then we can spray it out for a three, it creates a scramble situation. Like all of these principles that they're trying to instill before they get to installing a lot of their offense is why you need to play your guys in the preseason. As for teams like these, what OKC knows what their system is. They've been doing it for years now, and they won a championship with it. Teams like Indiana, they know what they got to do. Teams like New Orleans, you might want to get Zion out there a little bit more often. Teams like, obviously, the Knicks we mentioned, teams like Toronto, who have some things to figure out because they've kind of transformed their teams and their rosters and their play style. They might want to get their guys out there a little bit more often. AP said, how do you think Obi Toppin would have looked under Mike Brown's Knicks? I think he would have looked very similar to how he looked with Rick Carlisle's Pacers. I think it would have looked very similar to that when you take into account that they're going to be playing, the Knicks are going to be playing much faster. Indiana plays pretty damn fast. He was always good. It's just Tom Thibodeau didn't like the fact that he didn't really rebound. He wasn't a very good rebounder. He still isn't a very good rebounder. Rebounding is incredibly important to Tom Thibodeau, especially if you're big, and Obi Toppin wasn't very good at that, and so he kind of got on the bad side of Tom Thibodeau, and then ultimately, like, if you're not going to do the things that I value, then I'm not going to value you as a player. And so even if he was playing well, it's like, well, I still don't value you as a player because you don't do the things that I prioritize. My man, Niall Dimitri, I appreciate you, Niall. Thank you very much for the generous contributions, my man. Let's go Knicks. Yes, sir, Niall. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. There's a lot of players who would look really good in a fast-paced offense. almost anybody would look really good in a fast-paced offense if you're a halfway decent basketball player. And Obi Toppin is more than a halfway decent basketball player, so he would look really good in a faster-paced offense. Let's get our game up so we don't miss any of the action. We can get right into it whenever they tip it off. Probably another 5 minutes or so. Let's get it up and open over here. Probably going to have to lower the volume just a little bit. There we go. Now Dimitri with 2 of them. Oh, my goodness. Now Dimitri getting it going. Look at a little tiny Clyde over here. I got to make Clyde a little bit bigger. What are we doing, tiny Clyde? What are we doing over there? Always fun watching your channel, Niall. I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate you. AP said 0 people are starting to check in. Always hit the lights. I wish I could hit the lights. With the new setup, with the new lights I have, studio lights that I got for the green screen. You have to light up the green screen a certain way. Like if I turn down the lights, look what happens. Can't really do that, right? So if I did that and then I did our lights, it looks cool, I guess, but now it looks terrible. But if I turn the lights on, you can't really see the lights anymore, right? You can't really see the orange and blue skies anymore. So we're going to rock out with this, and I'm going to have to figure something out for our lighting situation. We'll get there. We'll get there with that. AP also reminded people to hit the like button. Yes, please go ahead, hit the like button on your way in. It very much helps grow the stream, very much helps remind people to get up in here, gets it back into people's sub boxes and whatnot when we go live. So I very much appreciate it. Also gets in people's recommended feed. Maybe said I didn't even mean that. I meant to say like, but light came out, but it was so cool. I wish I could hit the lights like we did last year. I wish I could. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out how we're gonna be able to do it. Problem is that these lights are not hooked up to the computer. These lights are hooked up to their own outlets. So I can't control them with any of the controls that I have for my computer. AP said I use voice to text. Where's the dogs and the elephant? Elephant is over there, behind the green screen. There she is. There she is. Dogs are chilling. It's their bedtime. And the giraffe, I mean, we could bring Jeffrey. Where's Jeffrey? Oh, Jeffrey's all the way out there. I'm not going to go all the way out there to go get Jeffrey. But he's still here. He's still here. He may make an appearance during the regular season. For now, we're going to leave it the way it is. But we may, we're going to bring some things in, some props in, have some fun here during the season. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for the regular season. Right now, this is just chill. We're just chilling. We're just in preseason. We're watching games and whatnot. AP said 2 fearless attack dogs. Yeah, they're beagles. They're little babies. Jarace Walker for the Pacers. I should probably make a player graphic for him, throw him in the pregame discussion and whatnot. But we'll see what the rotation is as the season goes on, right? Again, I haven't updated any of the player graphics. They still have the stats that we're going off of for the player graphics. They're all last season stats, and then the context is just very basic, kind of either a scouting report or something coming up about the season and what to look forward to about them and whatnot. So it's not the context bubble that you guys see is for kind of just talking about what's going on currently in the season for them. Are they on a hot streak? Are they in a slump? Are they playing well overall but not shooting it well? Have they improved their game? What part of their game have they improved? Are they regressing in their career as they get older? What's going on? Are they having a down year? Are they having an up year? Are they having an explosive year? Are they in the running for any awards? All of the things will be here in the context and whatnot. But to start the year, we don't have any context because we don't know what anybody's playing like this season, right? So for now, that's going to remain like this for maybe the first week of the season until we start having things to actually talk about as we go. But here we go, getting ready for the tip-off. Cameron Payne is in the starting lineup. Once a Nick, always a Nick. Cameron Payne is here. KZ, what's up, KZ? Indiana been on fire. I wish Nembhard and Siakam were playing KZ, because then we could really get to see a really fun version of the Indiana Pacers. They have been playing well here in the preseason. KZ, Colts fever, Indiana University in football. Indiana University football. All Indiana, brother. All Indiana. Shout out to you. AP said campaign giving away state secrets. We watched Cameron Payne play last year, and he played under Tom Thibodeau. So not a whole lot of secrets he could give out. Not a whole lot of secrets he could give out. KZ having a good time. Appreciate you, KZ. Enjoy yourself, my man. Enjoy yourself. Here we go, getting ready for the tip-off. Get ourselves situated. First quarter, 12 minutes up on the clock, 0-0. Gonna need this game cast up. How do you pronounce this kid's name? Bronzier. As the Thunder steal the tip. Up top to Mitchell, now over to Wallace. Wallace coming to his left, out to Wiggins. Wiggins catches, pump fakes, driving it down in the lane, back out to Wallace. Wallace, he's going to swing through to his right, down the lane. High school play with the right hand, can't get it to go over Isaiah Jackson. We're off and running the other way. Good rim protection from Isaiah Jackson. Ben Mathurin bringing it down, gets it out to Payne. Payne coming to his right, directing traffic immediately into the game, directing traffic. Okay, campaign, relax a little bit. Over to Toppin, over to Payne. Payne, no hesitation, three. We know he doesn't have a conscience. Comes up short on it. Isaiah Jackson, an offensive rebound. Out to Toppin, over to Payne. Payne, another one. He said, I'm getting me some buckets tonight. Fight for the loose ball. Thunder end up with it, and then campaign ends up fouling. What's this kid's name? Bronzier? How do I pronounce it? Where is it at? Barnheiser got fouled by campaign. Kason Wallace bringing it down, coming to his left, swings it over to, who is that? Kason Wallace tried to hit the pocket pass, can't get it to go, but it's a kickball on the Pacers, so it'll remain with the Thunder. Who's in for the Pacers there? Who was that? Who's that for the Pacers? Who am I missing? No, for the Thunder. Who was that for the Thunder? Ousmane Dieng. It was Ousmane Dieng. Okay. Former Nick pick, Ousmane Dieng. AJ Mitchell bringing it down. They get it over to Dieng. Ousmane Dieng, a right wing three, can't get it to go. Obi Toppin snatches a rebound, and he's off to the races. Shot out of a cannon, bringing it down the right side of the court. Gets it up top to Ben Mathurin. Swings it over to Drace Walker. Walker being guarded by Barnheiser. Pocket pass inside to Isaiah Jackson, who just smokes the layup. Brother, come on. We got to get those to go. Quick hit ahead to AJ Mitchell, bringing it down against Walker. Stops, turns, spins in the lane, puts up the floater. Gets it to go down. Beautiful move from AJ Mitchell going into his second year here. Looking for a much more important role for the Thunder here. He had a pretty impressive rookie year for a team that won a championship. Obi Toppin coming to his left, step back into the mid-range, hands it off to the campaign, up top to Mathurin. Mathurin being guarded by Barnheiser, dancing with it, a step back straightaway three, well short, fight for the loose ball, knocked away from Aaron Wiggins, keeping it away from Isaiah Jackson. Good effort from him. Here comes AJ Mitchell bringing it down. Mitchell directing some traffic. Quick crossover to his right on Mathurin, driving it in, stops, turns, spins, leans in, lefty floater, got it to go, and one over Ben Mathurin. Okay, AJ Mitchell coming for the throne here. He said, you thought it was going to be Ben Mathurin tonight. It's actually going to be AJ Mitchell's. KZ said, y'all got lucky last finals game. I don't know who y'all are, but I'm not a Thunder fan, brother. AJ Mitchell did miss the free throw. Here comes Campaign. Payne has it up top. They get it over to Jackson. Jackson hands it off to Payne. Payne coming to his left, driving it down up top. Mathurin on the relocation. Pump fakes, driving it down, and draws the foul. And Kason Wallace getting his hands caught in the cookie jar. You know Ben Mathurin is going to be able to draw them fouls, man. Gets to the line like no other. AP said, who do we root for in this game? I root for a good game. We'll figure out who we root for, who we want to win as the game goes on. Campaign has it up top. Picks up his handle. So he gets it over to Mather. Now over to Walker. Walker coming off the screen. Lined up a three. Way off. Can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball. Isaiah Jackson had it and gets fouled on the floor by Ousmane Dieng. Not able to box him out. Isaiah Jackson having an excellent start to the game. Just being a demon on the glass. The Thunder not really playing with a big right now. Barnhizer is out there pretty much at center with Ousmane Dieng as the forward. Power forward. Toppin, right corner three, hit the side of the backboard. You know Obi Toppin's always good for a side of the backboard three every now and again. All the way to the rim as Aaron Wiggins smokes a lefty layup. Home run pass. Hit ahead to Matherin. Euro steps down the lane. Goes up off glass. Gets it to go. A tough finish over 2-3 defenders. People coming for the chase down block. Did not matter. Ben Matherin got it to go anyway for the Pacers. First basket of the game. They swing it out to Ousmane Dieng, who's going to dance with it against Jackson. Swings it over to Barnhizer, who's going to attack. Stop, turn. Fall away, mid-range jumper, foul line jumper, can't get it to go. Here comes Jarace Walker bringing it down the other way, has it on the right wing, dancing with it, coming to his right, has it in the right corner. Up top to Matherin. Matherin looking for a screen. Instead swings it over to Walker. They leave him wide open. They're going to dare him to shoot, and he's going to continue to miss fire. Thunder saying, go ahead, shoot it, kid. We don't believe in that jump shot. Cason Wallace bringing it down. Gets it over to Wiggins, comes to the rim, spins off of Jackson, scoop layup with the right hand, can't get it to go. Good rebound from Jarace Walker. Here comes Campaign pushing it the other way. Payne on the right wing, hits Toppin in the post, being guarded by Ousmane Dieng. Toppin's going to back him down. Stop, turn, a little fall away baseline jumper. Obi Toppin with a smooth mid-post game right there with the fall away baby jumper out of the mid-range. A pull-up three from A.J. Mitchell in transition. Can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball. Campaign has it and saves it over to Jackson. And here comes Campaign bringing it down. Tied at 4. 8 minutes to go here into the first quarter. Fast-paced action. No foul calls yet. Not anybody taking free throws. A.J. Mitchell does a good job poking the ball away from Matherin. Aaron Wiggins down the lane gets fouled by Campaign in transition. Good 1-2-man game between Barnhizer and Aaron Wiggins leads to an easy layup. Aaron Wiggins unfortunately missed the layup, but it will send him to the foul line for 2 free throws. Just that said, TJ not active tonight, so we're really going to see some benches tonight. Unfortunate. TJ McConnell, the demon. Just that said, Barnhizer home game from Indy. Shout out to Barnhizer. KZ said, I remember when Chef rooted for the Pacers a few months ago after his team got smoked. I don't know if I ever wrote. The only reason why I would ever root for the Pacers, which I would never root for the Pacers, is just because I can't see Isaiah Hartenstein win a championship. It was very unfortunate to watch him have to win that. It was very unfortunate to have to watch this guy right here win a championship. Right? In the context, I added very simple words. He's a traitor and a Benedict Arnold. Get him out of here. I don't like this guy. Get him off my screen. I don't even want him on here anymore. Let's get out of here. I can't stand looking at him, that Benedict Arnold. He's a traitor. Everything that went wrong in my life is Isaiah Hartenstein's fault. I don't like that guy. I wasn't necessarily rooting for the Pacers, or even rooting against the Pacers, or rooting for the Pacers, or rooting for anybody. What I really wanted was for somehow, if it was possible, for both teams to lose. Because I couldn't stand to see Isaiah Hartenstein win a championship, and then I couldn't stand to see the Pacers win a championship. So really, realistically, I wanted both sides to lose. Obviously, somebody had to come out as a victor. It's unfortunate it had to be Isaiah Hartenstein. Like, if Isaiah Hartenstein could have been traded in the middle of that series, then I would have rooted for the Thunder to win, because then it's like, all right, I'll root for the Thunder before I root for the Pacers. AB said, yeah, the Knicks built him up and he walks. Disgusting. A betrayal. A true betrayal. How could you do that? How could you do that in your heart of hearts, knowing the city was ready to give you the keys? It was ready to give you everything, Isaiah Hartenstein, then you left? Don't make me get on my Isaiah Hartenstein soapbox right now. I don't need to go on the Hartenstein rant anymore. We're done with Hartenstein. I just can't stand that guy. Lil Juan, what's up, Lil Juan? Happy to see you again, my man. Last night you should have picked the Jazz Spurs game. Was crazy? Nah. The game we watched was pretty crazy. We had a 27-point comeback. You know, you do one game a night. Only one man. Can only do one game a night. The game we watched was pretty good. I tried watching the Spurs. They were a bad watch. They might be on the ban watch for a little bit until we get to the regular season, and then we can evaluate what they look like when a little bit more healthy. But they might be on the ban watch. Miami Heat are on the ban watch, right? We're gonna have a ban watch list. We're not watching Miami Heat games until they give us a reason to. They're on the ban. They're so boring to watch. They're so incredibly bad. Just Dad said his wife is a curse anyway. They're all curses. If your last name is Harnstein, you're a curse to the New York Knicks. Get them out of here. Get all the Harnsteins out of here. Aaron Wiggins knocks down both of his free throws. Here we go. 7:50 to go. Toppin up top, swings through to his left, down the lane, gets stripped, and it's off the Toppin. Ball's going to go back to the Thunder. Kason Wallace gets it over to Ousmane Dieng. Hands it off to A.J. Mitchell. Mitchell dancing with it, gets it over to Dieng. A no hesitation three. Isaiah Jackson gave him the space. He took it, could not knock it down. Good rebound from Toppin. Here comes Quentin Jackson. Jackson stops, pops off the handoff from Toppin. Can't get it to go too long. Rebound from Kason Wallace. He's going to bring it down. Wallace sprays it out to Dieng. Dieng just missed the three, so he doesn't want to take it. Gets to the mid-range pull-up jumper. Can't knock that one down either. Here comes Ben Mathurin off the rebound, bringing it down against Wallace. Mathurin hit ahead to Jackson. Left corner three for the Pacers. Gets it to go. Great pass from Mathurin. Good read. Good, simple. Didn't feel rushed. Hit the corner. Good move from Jackson to spread it out. Spread himself out to the corner. Find the open space. Wiggins off the handoff. Gets to the rim. A lefty layup. Gets it to go. The man who saved basketball getting active a little bit here. Approaching the 6-minute mark here in the first quarter. The halfway point. Jackson bringing it down against Mitchell. Some full court pressure. Sprays it out to Toppin. Toppin a no hesitation left corner three. And he gets that one to go down. Back-to-back threes for the Indiana Pacers. It's 10-8. 6:30 to go here in the first quarter. And Mitchell bringing it down against Jackson. He gets fouled. It's Quentin Jackson, right? It is Quentin Jackson. I want to make sure we got the names right. Some substitutions here. Isaiah Joe enters the game for the Thunder, along with Malevi Leons. Okay, shout out Leons. Johnny Furphy's in the game for the Pacers, along with Talon Peter. Kason Wallace driving it to the rim, draws the foul on Furphy. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Juan said, Wembanyama is coming for 3 Defensive Players of the Years in a row. Dude was training with Olajuwon this summer. He's about to be a big, real problem. He could stay healthy. He could stay healthy for sure. It's always going to be the question when you start hitting that like 7'2", 7'3" range, and this man supposedly 7'5", 7'6". You could stay healthy. That is always going to be the question. Quinn Jackson has it up top, coming to his right. Driving it down, almost turns it over, gets it out to Toppin. Toppin, a deep left wing three. Can't get that one to go. Fight for the loose ball rebound. Isaiah Joe comes flying in to secure it. Here comes Wiggins bringing it down against Furphy on the right wing. Dancing with it. Coming to his left, sprays it out to Wallace. Wallace on the right wing, coming to his left. Off the screen, they go under. A little late on the switch. Can't knock down the pull-up three. Jackson, good job. Boxing out and grabbing the rebound. Here comes Furphy pushing quickly. Gets it over to Jackson. Jackson out of the high post. Hits Furphy, coming back door for an easy layup over Aaron Wiggins. Can't let that happen, Wiggins. 12-10. Score slightly off. There we go. Under 6 to go. Past the halfway point here in the first quarter. Ousmane Dieng on the pick and pop straightaway three. Gets that one to go down. He finally got the shot to go down. His first make of the game. Quentin Jackson bringing it down on the left wing. Picks up his handle. Now hands it off to Toppin. Toppin has it up top. Sprays it out to Furphy. In the corner to Talon Peter. Peter dancing with it. Gets it over to Jackson. Jackson sprays it out to Jackson. Jackson sprays it out to Jackson. Isaiah Jackson sprayed it out to Quentin Jackson. Got it in the corner to Furphy, who gets blocked on his three-point attempt. Furphy's got to inbound it. They get it into Jackson, Quentin Jackson. Quentin Jackson gets it over to Furphy. Furphy's got to chuck it up with the shot clock winding down and airballs it, and that is a shot clock violation. I'm not going to hit the top of my head because I got the chef's hat on here today. Quentin Jackson has a nice jumper, does that. Got a pretty good jumper. It is a smooth jumper. It is smooth. Just that to the Clippers on the ban list? Not yet. We haven't watched any Clippers game. But most West teams are going to be on the ban list just because they're so late. They swing it out. Isaiah Joe with right wing 3. Splashes it at the net for Isaiah Joe. Can't leave that guy open. Can't leave that guy open. That is his specialty. He is a marksman. Quinn Jackson bringing it down the other way. Hands it off to Toppin. Toppin's going to dance with it. Pulls it back out. In and out dribble. Driving to his left. Down the lane. Out to Talon Peter. A right wing 3. Splashes it at the net. Right back at you. Anything you can do, I can do better. Great relocation and find from Obi Toppin, and a great relocation from Talon Peter to find the open space for that three-point shot. Aaron Wiggins steps back for a 3. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Peter with the rebound. I like this kid, Talon Peter, for the Pacers. I really like his game. They get it over to Toppin in transition, sets his feet, fires, got all the time in the world, and he knocks it down, and a timeout from the OKC Thunder. And the Pacers running them out the building, trying to. 2-point lead for the Pacers, building a lot of momentum. Finding open looks from three-point range. It's going to be a problem if the Thunder let them do it all night long. Niall said Halliburton not playing. Halliburton's not going to play all year, Niall. Tore his Achilles in the playoffs, man. He said it'll be interesting to see how both teams do this year. I don't think it'll be as interesting about the Thunder. We know what the Thunder will do. We know about the Thunder. They pretty much brought back their entire team and added more pieces, more depth. Nikola Topic is returning. Unfortunately, their rookie big man got hurt, but they're gonna be the same. AP said, since you started doing the new games on off nights, do we get different crowds or do we get the regulars here? I don't know yet. I don't know. It has been a lot of new people so far to start the season. Juan said Pacers will be a big problem this season. I don't know if they'll be a big problem, but I do think the Pacers will be better than people are giving them credit for. Just that said Halliburton doing voice acting this year instead of basketball. Hey, man, you can't play basketball, so you might as well find something else to do. Can't knock the hustle. Luan said, without Turner in the paint area, they're going to be very creative. Well, they do have Isaiah Jackson, who's just as good, if not maybe a better rim protector than Miles Turner is, because he's more of a he's better of a lateral movement and more of a vertical explosive player. Doesn't have the timing, I don't think, that Turner did as a rim protector, but more athletic and has pretty good timing. It's not like he has bad timing. And they also have Jay Huff off the bench. Whereas last year they were bringing in like Thomas Bryant and Tony Battle. Like, not Tony Battle. What's his name? What's his name? Tony Bryant, right? Tony Bryant off the bench. So they didn't have the greatest big rotation last year. While they are going to take a hit offensively without Turner's contributions as a floor spreader and whatnot, Isaiah Jackson gives them a different impact with his rebounding. He's a better rebounder than Turner. Alejandro Matthias with the subscription. I appreciate you, Alejandro. Hope you're having a good time tonight. Kay Hazy said, will the Thunder be lazy after winning it all? Time will tell. Time will tell. That's always the question. Do you become satisfied? Do you feel like, we'll be there at the end? We'll be there. We're good. We'll get there. You know, they're so young that I have to think that they won't be. But you never know. You never know how winning a championship impacts the mentality of these guys, right? You never know. Cason Wallace bringing it down, breaks down the defense, gets all the way to the rim, can't get the finish though. Offensive rebound, they swing it around, back to Wallace in the right corner. He pump fakes, driving it down, in the lane, throws up a floater, well short. Murphy with the rebound, he's going to bring it down. Hit ahead to Peter. Jay Huff is in the game. They throw it over the top to nobody. A bad interior pass from Peter. Huff was battling for positioning. He didn't have it yet. Hit ahead to Aaron Wiggins, who chucks up a brick. And then we get a technical on Carlisle arguing with the refs. Is that the second technical we've seen in the 2 games we've seen of the Pacers? I think I've seen Rick Carlisle get a technical in both games. Isaiah Joe knocks down the free throw. Just dead to the, we could do a late West Coast game tomorrow since Monday is Columbus Day. I'm not doing any games on Sunday. Sundays are my days. I'm doing games Monday through Saturday. Sundays are for me. Sundays are for improving the stream. I have to get this chat situation figured out so we could actually have the chat up on screen and have it be visible. But we'll be back on Monday for the Knicks, and then we'll figure out the Tuesday game from there. Quinn Jackson has it up top. Sprays it out to Peter. Peter over to Jackson. Jackson, interior pass to Huff, and they do call the foul here on the, who's guarding him? I don't know who's guarding him, but the Thunder holding him. Jay Huff in the post. That was Leon's. Leon's? Leons. Am I pronouncing that right? Leon's? Leon's? Could I add a little flair to it? Leon's? Ousmane Dieng checking out for, is that Barnheiser? I like that name. I like saying that name. That is a very roll off the tongue type of name. They get it over to Huff. Huff gets it over to Jackson. Jackson over to Furphy. Furphy gets it over to Peter. Peter over to Huff, rolling to the rim. Leans in and runs right into the defender. Who is that who picked up the charge? Youngblood. Youngblood on the Thunder. Chris Youngblood picked up the charge. Chris Youngblood, right? Chris Youngblood picks up the charge. And Rick Carlisle is going to use his challenge here, saying that Huff, I don't know if Youngblood beat him to that spot. That's a crazy name. It's a crazy name to have. Chris Youngblood. That's his government right there. That's a crazy government name to have. Chris Youngblood. That might be a blocking foul, just because I don't think Chris Youngblood got there before Huff did. Right, you got to beat the offensive player to the position. Luan said, I don't think that OKC will be a team too many to have so many fears. West will be too much competitive, more than they were last year. My odds are in the Wolves coming back for a third West Finals. The Thunder are the best team in the Western Conference, and they're going to be better this year. Hypothetically, on paper, should be better this year with all of their players getting older, having the finals experience, bringing in a guy like Nikola Topic and whatnot. Thunder should absolutely be feared. As far as like a finals opponent, you can't fear a finals opponent as an Eastern Conference team fearing a Western Conference team just because we'll see. We'll see when we get there. Which, by the way, we will be there. We will be there. They did change the call, K. Hazy. They did change the call to a blocking foul on Youngblood. Like I suspected, didn't seem like Chris Youngblood beat Jay Huff to the spot. And I like how fast of a challenge that was. Usually, when the coach is asked to go review the block charge thing, the refs are going to take 10 minutes to figure that out. They were pretty quick. They looked at it and they were like, oh, no, he didn't beat him to the spot. All right, that's a blocking foul. Great. Perfect. Perfect review there. We're right back into it. Quinn Jackson up top. And I have my timer ticking the whole time. We got 3 minutes to go here. Peter sprays it out to Furphy. Furphy going to drive it down. Oh, my goodness, Johnny Furphy cut that thing back and threw down a huge tomahawk hammer. Did not see that coming. I thought he was going to go for the layup. That caught the crowd up on their feet. A.J. Mitchell has it on the right wing. Gets picked off by Peter. Home run pass over to Jackson. He's going to go up, and he's going to throw down a right-handed hammer. Now the Pacers are off and running, building momentum here. Building a ton of momentum here. 22-17, 2:40 to go here in the first quarter. A.J. Mitchell driving it down, leans in, trying to draw the foul. He does draw the foul, and he gets the floater to fall down, quieting the momentum just a bit there. Johnny Furphy dunking all over Leons. That is a grown man dunk right there. The posters are back in style. Kay Hazy said, forget flag. It's all about Furphy. Johnny Furphy. He's going to make some highlight reels after today. Jay Huff has it up top. A.J. Mitchell did knock down his free throw. And Talon Peter driving it to the rim. Ball gets knocked out of his hands. It'll remain with the Pacers as it goes out of bounds. 2:24 to go. Quinn Jackson's going to inbound it. Gets it into Furphy. Furphy over to Huff. Huff hands it off to Jackson. Jackson driving to his right. Between the legs, step back. Smooth move. And he knocks down the mid-range fall-away jumper. Here comes A.J. Mitchell bringing it down. Coming to his right off the Leon screen. Pulling it back out as Jay Huff switches onto him. He's going to dance with it. Gets to his mid-range pull-up jumper. Splashes it nothing but net. A.J. Mitchell's good. A.J. Mitchell's really good. Quinn Jackson bringing it down. And I think Leons gets called for another foul, battling in the post with Huff. This kid Leons just does not look, Malevi Leons just does not look ready right now for the NBA. Just that said, Pelicans haven't played preseason yet and don't into Thursday night. Might get a look versus the Magic. Yeah, we might watch the Pelicans game. Pelicans are definitely high on the list. I already started looking at it, the Tuesday schedule. But they have played one preseason game. They played against the Australian team in Melbourne, I believe, which I believe they dominated, and Zion looked great. Jay Huff at the foul line as the Pacers are in the bonus. Knocks down both free throws. There you go, Jay. There you go, Big Huff. Under 2 minutes to go here, past the 2-minute warning. Isaiah Joe has it up top, sprays it out to A.J. Mitchell, dancing with it, coming to his right. Kicks it out to Barnheiser, and a no-hesitation right wing three. Splashes it nothing but net. I didn't know he had that in him. There you go, Barnheiser, getting on the board there. Quinn Jackson driving it down, kicks it out. An air ball three. Quinn Jackson, right place, right time, knocks down the three. Gabe McLaughlin threw up that air ball for the Pacers. All the way down the lane, A.J. Mitchell throws up a wild layup. They do call the foul. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Just that said, want to see who played for the Pelicans, but have no idea. Well, we know it's Zion. We know it's Trey Murphy III. We know it's Yves Missi. We know it's Herb Jones. Jordan Poole. Outside of that, Kevon Looney. We know it's him. They got a solid 7. Solid 6 or 7, which most teams, that's where you get. Usually where you get when your team's still trying to figure things out. A.J. Mitchell knocked down both of his free throws. Murphy sprays it out. Gabe McLaughlin, the left corner three. Another air ball. 2 straight air balls for Gabe McLaughlin. Not what you want to see for a guy trying to make the team. 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Pretty entertaining first quarter here. Isaiah Joe bringing it down against Quinn Jackson. Gets it over to Mitchell. A.J. Mitchell coming to his left off the Leon screen. He's going to dance with it against Huff. Blows right past him. Down the lane. Flips it off glass. Oh my goodness, this kid A.J. Mitchell is something else. This kid A.J. Mitchell is something else, I'll tell you. Jay Hazy said, is Siakam injured? No, it's just preseason. They're going to sit him out. Unfortunately, we are in the midst of preseason of the star sit-outs. Luan said, I really hope that Zion finally makes his game in full force, at least 75% of the NBA season. I remember watching his first game, and you were really excited. I think everybody was really excited for the Zion Williamson experience, and the way his career has gone has been extremely, extremely disappointing. Quinn Jackson down the lane, throws it to nobodies. He fell off balance. Here comes Barnheiser, bringing it the other way, hands it off to Joe. It's a 5-on-4. You got to sprint that ball around. Chris Youngblood in the lane, loses the handle, trying to pick it back up, gets it stolen from Talon Peter, hit ahead to Quinn Jackson. Jackson going to pull it back out to Talon Peter, and they're going to hold it for the final shot of the quarter. And Jay Huff battling down low in the post. Quinn Jackson has it up top. They show 2. Quinn Jackson holding on to it, gets it out to Furphy, sprays it out to Peter. Peter, back to Jackson. Shot clock winding down. Jackson walks into a pull-up straightaway 3, airballs it, but a loose ball pickup by Furphy, and then he ends up getting fouled by Isaiah Joe, I believe. And Furphy fighting for rotation minutes here. He might find himself in the rotation as the season goes on. Doing a lot of the little things here tonight so far. Derby, what's up, Derby? This is a good game. Wow, it is a pretty good game, right? Listen, we've watched a couple of these games now here in preseason where the Stars have sat out. And most of the time, more often than not, they end up being really fun, really competitive games. And Isaiah Joe, with a little limp here, walking off the court. Not a good sign for the Thunder. Derby said, no, Siakam is not injured, only McConnell. Yeah, the last time we saw the Pacers play, McConnell left the game with a little hamstring injury, so he's likely done for the preseason. Especially he's, 31, 32 years old? So done for the preseason. We know what McConnell's capable of. That man is a demon. That man is a demon. Murphy knocked down the first free throw. He's got one more coming. And he goes 2 for 2 from the foul line. 1.2 to go in the quarter. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell launches. Ooh, almost got that to go down. And that will be the end of our first quarter. 12 minutes down, 36 minutes to go. And we end it 30-29. A back and forth affair here tonight. Some really, really fun basketball. Johnny Furphy getting active for the Indiana Pacers, giving us some highlight plays. Even Quentin Jackson getting downhill with a big tomahawk jam. As for the Thunder, it's death by 1,000 cuts playing against the Pacers here, where A.J. Mitchell, Cason Wallace, just slowly chipping away at the Pacers here. Especially A.J. Mitchell, who's now sitting with 13 points, 5% from the field, doing a great job of getting downhill, drawing fouls, getting to the foul line. Derby said Pacers have announced that McConnell was done for a month. Oof, a month. Oof. It is a long time. Although it is a hamstring thing, you don't want to mess with hamstrings because those injuries can linger and linger and linger and linger. We might as well just take the time off, especially to start the year, rest that thing up, and then come back when you're ready to go. Very long season. Very long season. Marathon, not a sprint. All of the cliches. All of them. So leading scorer for Quentin Jackson has 9 points. Leading scorer for each team. Let's look it up. What are our box scores looking like? $13 points for A.J. Mitchell. Nobody else has more than 4. Wiggins has 4, and 1 for 5 from the field. Joe has 4, knocking down a 3, getting to the foul line as well. As for the Pacers, Toppin is 8. And then off the bench, Jackson has 9. Talon Peter is 5. Johnny Furphy is 4. The only field goal he made was that incredible tomahawk jam in the half court there. But it has been a back and forth affair. It has been very fun. Let's get ourselves situated for the second quarter. 12 more minutes back up on the clock. Second quarter. Getting ready to go. Getting ready to go. 30-29 Indiana with a 1-point lead. 59 points in the first quarter. It's pretty good. Pretty good first quarter. Here we go, getting ready for start of the second quarter here. Campaign is back in, bringing the ball down. Payne gets it over to Jay Huff in the high post. Huff hands it back off to Payne, coming to his right, takes it out. Talon Peter, wide open right wing 3. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Who's that? Slauson? Back out to Payne. Payne continues to misfire. Huff fighting for the offensive rebound, knocks it out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Thunder. It's going to go to Thunder. No, it's going to stay with the Pacers. Okay. Good hustle from Huff. The Huff hustle. Taking it into Huff. Ooh, excuse me. Payne up top. Trying to force it inside to Jay Huff. A bad pass from Payne, trying to force it. Here comes A.J. Mitchell, who was the one who broke up the pass to Huff. Sprays it out to Leons, who wants no business in the paint. Pulls it all the way back out to Mitchell. A.J. Mitchell dancing with it against Furphy. Driving to his right, putting his head down, attacking. Throws up a floater, gets it to go down. What do you do against A.J. Mitchell right now? He's got everything going in. A.J. Mitchell up to 15 points. Just starting the second quarter here. Can this man go for 50? Jay Huff struggling with the pass. Hands it off to Peter, and they call a moving screen on Jay Huff. A.J. Mitchell, again, in the middle of the action, running through the screen, drawing the foul. Ball going back to the Thunder here. A.J. Mitchell getting his fingerprints all over this game right now. And Jay Huff getting subbed out for Isaiah Jackson here. Just that's it. Diane Keane has died today. Yes. R.I.P. to Diane Keane. Not really basketball related, but kind of remember her on Celebrity Row a few times, maybe. I don't necessarily remember it, but I wouldn't be surprised. A.J. Mitchell bringing it down against Ben Mathurin. He's in the game. This is going to be a really good matchup. Ben Mathurin versus A.J. Mitchell. I like it. Two bulldozers running into each other. A.J. Mitchell has it up top. Coming to his right up the screen. Jackson switches on to him. Mitchell dancing. Sprays it out in the corner to the Leons. Tries to get it out, but knocked out of bounds by Mathurin. Good active hands from the Pacers there. 10:35 to go. Ousmane Dieng is checked back in. Tries to get it over to Mitchell. He gets tied up and slips and falls. Shoe fell off. He's huffing and puffing, hurting a little bit. He's going to take his time before getting up. The refs are going to review real quick to see if it was before or after the ball was inbounded. Because if it's before the ball is inbounded, that is an automatic technical foul and a free throw. Foul was on Mathurin. Is that Zach Austin in the game for the Thunder here? It is Zach Austin in the game right now. So OKC gets a free point out of it, a free throw. Even though free throws are already free, they get a free throw now. As the foul was committed before the ball was thrown in. Say Mathurin grabbed the jersey, which is where the foul occurred. Anybody can shoot the free throw. They're going to send A.J. Mitchell, because, of course, who else do you send? He was the one who got fouled anyway, and he's the hottest man on the court right now. So A.J. Mitchell at the foul line for one free throw. Gets it to go down, because, of course, he does. This man cannot miss right now. Dieng gets it into Barnhizer, driving to his right, crossing over to his left against Mathurin, kicks it out all the way to the rim. Ousmane Dieng misses the scoop layup. Rebound by Mathurin. Mathurin's bringing it down. Hit ahead to Payne. And another whistle has been blown. Can we get to some NBA action here? It was a shot clock malfunction. They got it fixed now. Jarace Walker is in the game. Get it into Campaign. Campaign has it up top. The Thunder are in a 2-3 zone. Jarace Walker has it on the left wing. Dancing with it. Crosses over. Spins to his right. In the middle of the lane. Flips it up with the right hand. Gets the bank shot to go down for Jarace Walker. Okay, we're tied at 32 with 10 minutes to go. A.J. Mitchell up top coming to his left. Sprays it out. Extra pass. Back up top to Mitchell. Because, of course, who else is going to have the ball in his hands? Mitchell. No-look pass over to Leons, who's going to pump fake, drive it down to the rim. Gets the layup to go. On a late rotation from the Pacers there. Payne gets it over to Mathurin. Mathurin up top. Coming to his right. Gets it over to Jackson. Jackson over to Jarace Walker, who gets fouled by Zach Austin. Zach Austin just way too aggressive there. Runs right into Trace Walker. Whew. I need some caffeine in me. Peyton Matherin has it up top, being guarded by Barnhizer. Coming to his left, driving it down, shot clock winding down, kicks it out to Trace Walker. He's got to chuck it up with the shot clock winding down, hit the back of the rim, can't get it to go, fight for the rebound. Barnhizer can't grab it as he knocks it out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Pacers. They throw a lob into Matherin, who gets fouled by Barnhizer. Now we're getting chippy. Now we're getting a lot of foul calls right now. They get it into Jackson. Now over to Payne. Payne over to Matherin. Matherin, you can see, starting to get a little annoyed here as he drives it down and draws the foul on Leons. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. You can see the frustration starting to build for Matherin. He said, give me the ball, let me go to the basket. Give me the ball, let me do my thing. Draws the foul here. We know he's excellent at drawing fouls. Goes right into the defender, completely out of position. If the defender, which was Leons, who commits yet, oh no, they call the foul on Ousmane Dieng this time, but Leons was the one standing there. If Leons just plants his feet and stands there, Matherin runs right into his chest, but instead he's a little scared of the contact. He has his hands out, ends up kind of giving him the 2 hands. Ousmane Dieng was the one called for the foul anyway, but his teammate did not help him there. As he was in position, he should have been in a stance and, if anything, taken the charge there. Matherin knocks down both of his free throws. And the Thunder will bring it down. Mitchell bringing it down. Beats Matherin down the court. Kicks it out to a wide open Leons. Can he redeem himself? He does redeem himself a little bit, knocking down the 3 finally. Or was that Ousmane Dieng? Excuse me, that's not Leons. That's Ousmane Dieng, who knocked down the 3. Matherin coming off a screen, over the top pass to Toppin. Toppin in the mid-post, sprays it out to Trace Walker. Trace Walker on the left wing. Back up top to Matherin. Matherin coming to his right of the screen. A pull-up 3. They're a little late to switch onto him. But he comes up well short on the 3. Hit ahead to Leons. Leons hands it off to Zach Austin, driving it down in the mid-range. Pump fakes, gets it over to Leons in the post against Payne. Stops, turns. Payne knocks it out of his hands. And it goes out of bounds as Payne can't save it. So it'll remain with the Thunder at least. Was that Ousmane Dieng again? Or was that Leons? I believe that was Leons, who subbed out now. They spray it out. That Chris Youngblood can't get it to go. But he does get fouled after the release by Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin just running in and grabbing his arms, which is not a very smart play from Obi. He already released it. Nah, I don't like that foul call. I don't like that foul call at all. Actually, I don't think that's a foul on Obi Toppin. I don't like it at all. It was after the release. Obi doesn't follow through. He runs by with his hand up. Chris Youngblood's the one who's holding the gooseneck up. And they make arm contact. And then Chris Youngblood does the smart thing of exaggerating the contact, but don't love that foul call. Don't love that foul call at all. Chris Youngblood is at the foul line for 3 free throws. He knocks down the first one, knocks down the second one. Got one more coming, 39-34. Thunder starting to build some momentum, starting to build a little bit of a lead here. 8:22 to go here in the second quarter. Chris Youngblood knocked down the first 2, knocks down all 3 free throws. 3 perfect free throws for Chris Youngblood, by the way. The shot and the follow-through looks smooth. Campaign bringing it down, hands it off to Toppin. Toppin hands it off to Matherin. Matherin shot out of a cannon, running to the rim. Euro steps, tries to leave it off for Isaiah Jackson, who then comes up with a steal right back, goes to the rim, gets fouled, and one over Zach Austin. And some of these Thunder players, obviously deep on the bench, probably going to be G League players, might be playing overseas, just don't look ready for a lot of these Pacers backups, right? And, you know, Isaiah Jackson's going to be a starter. Matherin's probably going to be a starter this season. And a lot of these Thunder guys just don't necessarily look ready to play them tonight. Not quite on their level. Isaiah Jackson also knocks down his and one free throw. And here comes Kason Wallace bringing it down. Wallace has it on the right wing. Coming to his left. Now over to Wiggins, who's checked back in. Crosses over to his right, down the lane against Jackson. Gets blocked by Jackson. Jarace Walker picks it up. There was a shot out of a cannon, bringing it down the other way. Euro steps, reverse layup, can't get it to go. No foul call and a lot of contact. Ousmane Dieng with the rebound. He's bringing it down the other way. He's not going to look to attack. Now he's going to look to attack Jackson. Stops, turns, pivots. Forced to kick it back out to Wiggins. Great defense from Isaiah Jackson there. Now over to Ousmane Dieng. Great pump fake to get rid of the shot blocker. Kicks it out to Chris Youngblood, a straightaway three. He gets it to go down. And those 3 free throws really helped to recalibrate his jump shot as he got it to go down there. And then what is that, a half-court lob to Obi Toppin? The camera couldn't even catch it. And now the Thunder forced to push it back the other way. Kason Wallace has it on the right wing. Up top to Dieng. Now back to Wallace. Wallace driving it down. Out to Chris Youngblood. Puts up the 3. He gets it to go down again. Chris Youngblood. Those 3 free throws shouldn't have gave him the free throws there. He has recalibrated that jump shot. 2 perfect threes there. Cam Payne with the half-court lob to Obi Toppin. 46-39. 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Minute away from the halfway point. Cam Payne has it up top. Gets it over to Matherin. Matherin stops, turns, pivots, spins. Coming to his right. Now gets it over to Walker. Walker trying to get it into Jackson, who's being guarded by Kason Wallace. But instead, he finds Matherin coming back door. He blows the layup, gets his own offensive rebound, puts it up, and gets the and one this time. He really just wanted to get back to the foul line. He did not care about making the basket, but he did end up making the basket. The Thunder really struggling to rebound without any of their bigs out there. 41-46, although they are sitting with a 5-point lead here as the Pacers call a timeout. So we're going to go to a commercial break here. They are still sitting with a 5-point lead. Big Lito, BG Lito, what's up, BG? What happened to number 2 on the Thunders? I don't know who number 2 is. I don't know who's wearing that jersey. I've personally never cared about jersey numbers, so I don't take notice of the jersey numbers of players. I don't know who number 2 is. But it is a preseason game, and a lot of players are sitting out because both of these teams tend to know who they are, and they don't necessarily need to play their starters a ton of minutes. They're probably finding it more valuable to play a lot of the end-of-bench guys and even some of their role guys like Aaron Wiggins or Isaiah Joe, Kason Wallace, and stuff like that, A.J. Mitchell, putting them in a position where they have to do a lot of the ball handling, a lot of the creating to sort of just facilitate some of their development because they're not going to be put in those opportunities in those situations during the regular season when everybody is playing their guys on a nightly basis, obviously. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's just sitting out. It's just a preseason game, so he's like, I don't need to play this preseason game. I'm out. Sitting on the bench. Nazdalan, what's up, Nazdalan? SGA, he's just sitting out. Just sitting out in this preseason game. Getting himself prepared and ready for the regular season grind. He's not injured. Perfectly healthy. AP reminded people, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button on the stream. I very much appreciate you, AP. Yes, you're in the stream right now and you haven't hit the like button, please go ahead and like the stream. It very much helps grow the channel, grow the community and whatnot. Since starting to do a lot more NBA games outside of the Knicks, we have been growing the community pretty fast. Zenny2? What's up, Zenny2? Pacers going to win this watch? Maybe. Probably. I do like the Pacers end of the bench guys more than I like the Thunder end of the bench guys so far. Would not be a shocker. Fix the time. Yeah, I had the timer ticking a little too far. My bad, Toonami. My bad. The time will sync itself back up. AP said, I'm going to enjoy watching the misery of the 76ers. We just got a full season of misery from the Sixers. You think we're going to get another one, AP? It would be glorious. To get 2 miserable seasons in a row would be glorious. Would be a fun time. Kay Hazy said a foul, of course. It is Ben Matherin. It is Ben Mathurin. So Matherin's at the foul line for 2 free throws here. Nazalon said Sixers would be even worse this year. I mean, they got Edgecombe. Jared McCain will come back at some point. I don't know about PG and Embiid, but just those two players in Edgecombe and McCain will make the 76ers better than they were last year. Kason Wallace off the handoff, can't get the three to go. Jerace Walker comes flying in for the rebound, and he's bringing it down. Hit ahead to Toppin on the left wing, back up top to Walker. Walker over to Mathurin, he's got space. And with that space, he's going to utilize it to launch a three, and he gets it to go down nothing but net for Ben Mathurin, who, by the way, split the free throws. No, he didn't. He knocked down both of his free throws. 46-44. Wiggins stops, turns, pivots, spins. Great move to get rid of the shot blocker. Got to the rim for an easy righty scoop layup. Under 6 minutes to go. We have passed the halfway point. Mathurin up top, sprays it over to Walker. Walker over to Jackson, who got it stripped out of his hands by who was that? Ousmane Dieng? Good hands, good anticipation. Oh, no, Leons. There you go, Leons. Way to get active. He hasn't had a very particularly good game today. Well, that was a good defensive play right there. Who ends up drawing the foul on Isaiah Jackson as they were going for the loose ball. AP said, I've been following the Sixers because the Knicks fans invade their channel and they are miserable over there. They should be miserable. Their star player can't get on the court. And the other guy that they brought in to help subsidize the star player because he can't get on the court also can't get on the court. Good pump fake and drive from Chris Youngblood, and he ends up getting his shot blocked, but he does draw the foul, so he's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws here. It's 48-44 with 5:30 to go here in the second quarter. It's a foul on Jay Huff. Chris Youngblood to the foul line for 2 free throws. And on the replay, Chris Youngblood is the guy who grabs Jay Huff's arm. Should have been an offensive foul, but we're not going to get a challenge here, so Chris Youngblood is just going to take his 2 free throws. He knocks down the first one. AP said, ever since Joel Embiid played dirty in that series, I just have the root for their downfall. Very true. Very true. Very apropos how his career has gone since he decided to make the decision. I'm got to purposely injure Mitchell Robinson to get him out of here because he's guarding me too well. Right? The basketball gods do not forget. As Chris Youngblood, another 2 perfect free throws. He's got a smooth-looking jump shot, man. He's an NBA player. Chris Youngblood is an NBA player. I like his game so far. It's helped that he hasn't missed a shot, but I really like his game. Ben Mathurin down the lane, Euro steps, and then, of course, draws yet another foul. Ben Mathurin is fantastic at putting his head down and drawing fouls, and he's got something to say after every single drive to the basket. Ben Mathurin back to the foul line for 2 free throws. (50-44). Mathurin at the foul line for 2 free throws. Knocks down the first one. I believe he's has remained perfect from the foul line so far tonight. A.J. Mitchell back into the game. Avey said that's why Charles Barkley hates the Knicks because we gave him the broom in '89. Nothing like a professional athlete holding on the grudges. They all do it. They all do it for sure. Mathurin knocks down both free throws. 5:20 to go here in the second. And Aaron Wiggins bringing it down, gets it over to Barnhizer. Barnhizer looking to attack. Campaign leans in, throws it above glass, can't get it to go, but a foul on Campaign is going to send him to the foul line for 2 free throws. Now the whistles are flying for both sides. Now we're getting whistles flying for both sides. Campaign coming out. Quinn Jackson back in. Quinn Jackson had an excellent first quarter. Barnheiser missed the first one, does make the second one, gets a nice friendly bounce. 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Quinn Jackson bringing it down, hands it off to Walker. Gets it over to Mather, and he's going to walk into a straightaway three as nobody steps up to guard him. No, they call a foul on the three-point attempt. Back to the foul line. Back to the foul line. My goodness. And Mark Daigneault is going to use his challenge here. Mark Daigneault is going to use his challenge here. 51-46. If the challenge is deemed unsuccessful, Benedict Mathurin will go to the foul line for 3 free throws. If it is successful, I don't know who actually had the ball off that rebound, but it will go to the team who grabbed the rebound off of the missed 3. I hope this is called back. It didn't look like a foul on the initial, the live showing of it, but maybe on replay, maybe he did slap his arm. We'll have to wait and see. They're not going to show us the replay, but when we come back, they'll likely tell us what's going on. They'll let us see it. We get a full timeout here. A.J. Mitchell is 6 for 7 from the field, but has gone quiet since Ben Mathurin has come to the game. Ben Mathurin was like, that was cute, A.J. Mitchell. Now let me go to work. Ben Mathurin sitting with 11 points here, 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from three-point range. He's also taken the task of slowing down A.J. Mitchell, who's still sitting on 16 points. He had 11 points after the first quarter, I believe, and then 5 quick points to start the second quarter, and has been pretty quiet since Mathurin has come back into the game. Let's see if he can reemerge himself here tonight after going back to the bench and now coming back out. Maybe he just needed a little breather. Maybe just needed to get refreshed. But unfortunately for the Thunder, Aaron Wiggins and Kayson Wallace incredibly quiet tonight. I mean, Aaron Wiggins does have 6 points. He's 2 for 7 from the field. But Kayson Wallace, 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from three-point range, 2 points. Both of those points coming from the foul line on a wonky play. Chris Youngblood is sitting with 11 points. Both of his shots come from three-point range. He's gotten himself to the foul line. Barnheiser has 4 points. Like, you'll want to see more from Kayson Wallace, but might be shown to be more of a contributing role player, high-leverage role player who feeds off of playing alongside better players. More of a catch-and-shoot kind of player for Kayson Wallace because the on-ball capabilities have not shown themselves here. He came into the league more as a combo guard, more as a point guard, but is showing himself to be more of a shooting guard, right? Just a guy who doesn't really have the ability to have the ball in his hands and run a play, run an offense a little bit. Successful challenge. Indiana gets the ball back because they were the team that grabbed the rebound after the whistle. This is why you got to play through the whistle in the NBA. So no foul on the three-point attempt. But the Pacers do retain possession. So it will be inbounded by Quentin Jackson. Gets it into Mathurin, being guarded by Mitchell. This is a good matchup. Barnheiser forced to switch onto him. Over to Jackson. Jackson hands it off to Toppin. They go under the screen, forcing him to shoot. Toppin obliges, but can't knock down the three. Quentin Jackson picks up the loose ball. Almost gets it taken away from Wallace, but he's able to recover. They try to get it into Tony Battle. Is that Battle? Tony Battle? No, Tony Bryant. Tony Bradley. There we go. Tony Bradley gets it stripped out of his hands, out of bounds. It'll remain with the... No, it's a foul. Foul on A.J. Mitchell. Excuse me. It's going to send Tony Bradley to the foul line for 2 free throws. The unsung hero of the playoff run for the Pacers. When Thomas Bryant was playing as poorly as he was in that Knicks series, Tony Bradley came in and was at least not a disaster like Thomas Bryant was. Tony Bradley knocked down the first free throw. Got one more coming. And he misses the second one. Wiggins with the rebound. He's bringing it down. Aaron Wiggins crosses over to his left, stops, turns, spins, loses the handle, kicks it out. Kason Wallace, a right wing three, gets it to go down. There we go. I was just talking about Kason Wallace not having a big enough impact on the game tonight, and there he is showing up, knocking down a three-point shot there. It was off of the creation that was Aaron Wiggins, but we'll take anything we can get at this point. Obi Toppin on the right wing, jab step, driving to his right, got a lane to the basket, scoop play with the left hand, gets it to go as he beats Kason Wallace off the bounce. Great explosive move from Obadiah Toppin. Here comes Kason Wallace pushing it the other way. Hands it off to Wiggins. Wiggins, pump fakes, hesitation, driving it down, lefty layup, can't get it to go. Great contest from Quinn Jackson. Obi Toppin, big strong rebound in the paint. Sprays it out to Walker, back to Toppin. Toppin kicks it out. Quinn Jackson getting rewarded for his defensive effort, and he rewards his teammate and his team by knocking down the three on the right wing there. Back to a two-point game, one possession, 3:45 to go. A.J. Mitchell has it on the right wing, being guarded by Matherin. Tries to get it out to Wiggins, gets it stolen by Toppin. Toppin throws it inside, and a two-handed slam on the lob from Toppin to Matherin on the fast break there. Tied at 54. The Pacers have come back to tie it. A.J. Mitchell has it. Tony Bradley switches onto him. Mitchell's going to look to dance. Gets it over to Wallace. Wallace back over to Mitchell. Mitchell catches, pump fakes, driving it down in the lane. Throws up a tough contested floater. Looking for a foul call. Doesn't get it. Toppin hit ahead to Quinn Jackson. Jackson bringing it down. Jackson on the right wing. Coming to his left. Sprays it over to Walker. Walker, hesitation. Ooh. High swing. Down the lane off the Euro. Can't get it to go. Quick outlet pass to Barnheiser. Euro steps down the lane. Gets chased down. Blocked by Toppin. But they call it a goaltend. 2 points for the Thunder. 2 points for Barnheiser. 3 minutes to go. Are we going to get a challenge here? I think we're going to get a challenge here. We are going to get a Pacers challenge here. Okay. Carlisle was like, no. My boy got that highlight chase down block. Great effort from Obi Toppin either way. If it is a goaltend or not. Great effort from Toppin either way. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Pretty good challenge from Carlisle. I like the challenge, right? I like the challenge. It's preseason, so you could use the challenges liberally. Not that big of a deal whether you win or lose, obviously, right now. In preseason, you just want to see your guys play well and execute the things you've been working on. But I like this challenge from Carlisle just because it's like, no. You made a fantastic effort, so I'm going to have faith and belief in you so that we can get that on your stats. Unsuccessful challenge. It was a goaltend. The ball was over the basket by the time Obi Toppin got it. Just barely, but it was indeed over. So it is a goaltend. They probably knew it was a goaltend. They wanted to get that timeout anyway. Might as well use it to show Obi Toppin, hey, man, I see you. Fantastic play. So the Pacers will bring it down now after the goaltend. 56-54, 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Quinn Jackson will bring it down for the Pacers. Some three-quarters court press here from A.J. Mitchell and the Thunder. They get it over to Tony Bradley. And somebody's hurt down bad. Jackson to the rim gets the layup to go, and A.J. Mitchell is down hurting. And this was an issue with A.J. Mitchell last season, where he was having a pretty good rookie year, but struggled to stay on the court consistently, and here he is down and hurt again. Didn't see the play. Is it a rolled ankle? I don't want to see it. It is a rolled ankle. Just stepped back and accidentally made contact with his teammate and had that ankle roll on him. Had that ankle turn over on him. Was it bad? I don't want to see the whole thing, but it wasn't that bad. It was like a quick turn. Just one of those, like, oh, God, and it probably swelling up right away. He's down a little too long. Come on, brother. Come on. It's a sprained ankle. Pop up. Oh, my goodness, dog. Come on. It's a sprained ankle. it wasn't even that bad of a sprain. Like, I'm sure it hurts, but, like, get up. Yeah, those hurt. Those hurt for sure. I'm there with you. Look, man, I've sprained my ankle just as bad, if not worse, and just like popped up, do a little jog. To be helped off the court, kind of crazy to me. Kind of crazy. So Isaiah Joe's going to pop up off the bench and come in here for AJ Mitchell. Was having a good game, but his night is over with the sprained ankle. Isaiah Joe does not pop up off the bench. Jazian Gortman comes in the game for AJ Mitchell. Aaron Wiggins turns it over, gets it knocked out of his hands. And then the Pacers almost turn it right back over, but Quinn Jackson able to save it off of AJ Mitchell before it goes out of bounds. And it'll at least stay with the Pacers here, tied at 56 after that layup previously from Jackson, taking advantage of the Thunder being down a man with the AJ Mitchell injury. Walker has it, tries to throw it over the top. Great defense from Barnhizer, forces the turnover. A bad pass from Walker. Aaron Wiggins, Euro steps down the lane and then throws it to nobody. Terrible play. Hit ahead past the top, and oh my goodness, and Toppin with the highlight play, the coming up, the cradle, the rock. Oh my goodness, Obi Toppin. Don't let them, and then just, they almost turn it back over. The Thunder do. Quinn Jackson dives for it, but can't save it. They just mishandle the dribble. Tied at 56. No, the Pacers scored, 56 to 58. Indiana has a 2-point lead. Kason Wallace crosses over, down the lane, scoop play with the right hand, gets it to go over Jarace Walker. Now we're tied at 58. Under 2 to go. Payne tries to get it over to Walker, gets knocked out by Kason Wallace. Toppin gets it over to Bradley. Bradley tries to get it inside. Another bad pass, but they call the foul, and Aaron Wiggins holding on to Benedict Mathurin. And guess what? Benedict Mathurin, 2 more free throws for our guy. 2 more free throws for Ben Mathurin. I've never seen a guy of Ben Mathurin's caliber, he's a good young player, obviously, get such a star whistle, man. That was a little ticky-tack foul from Aaron Wiggins. Ben Mathurin knocks down the first one. Got another one coming. Ben Mathurin goes 2 for 2 from the foul line. 60 to 58. Been a back and forth affair all night. Kason Wallace bringing it down. I'm not sure how Indiana has been able to hang in here as long as they have, but Kason Wallace has it on the right wing. They've struggled to just get into the paint consistently with their dribble drive game. Kason Wallace crosses over to his left, kicks it back out to Barnhizer. He's got a free run to the basket, and he smokes a righty layup. Oh my goodness, Barnhizer. Not going to see that on his highlight reel. Inside pass to Tony Bradley. He smokes a layup, but that's because he got fouled. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws here. 1:16 to go here in the first quarter. Tony Bradley back to the foul line. It's become a bit of a foul fest here. When we go through the box score, we're going to see how many free throws we were really getting here tonight. There's some players on the Thunder who just haven't really done much tonight. Zach Austin, Gortman, who since coming into the game hasn't done anything. Tony Bradley misses the first free throw. He's got one more coming. Bradley does at least split the free throws there, knocking the second one down. Wiggins bringing it down. It's over to Wallace. Wallace being guarded by Matherin. Driving to his left, steps back. A straightaway three. Too strong, can't get it to go. Bradley with the rebound, gets it over to Trace Walker, who's going to bring it down under a minute now. Over to Payne. Payne with a jab step, pump fake, now driving it down. Stops, turns, pivots, kicks it out to Toppin. Toppin's going to pump fake, now put up the left corner three, comes up short on it. A rebound from, who's that? From Zach Austin. Bringing it down is Wiggins, kicks it out, Barnhizer along the baseline. Maneuvering in the paint, pump fake, spins, pivots, kicks it out. Zach Austin a straightaway three, can't get it to go. He saw his opportunity, he took it. Here comes Matherin bringing it down the other way. Matherin has it up top. He's going to hold it for as long as he can, but there's about an 11-second difference between game clock and shot clock, so the Thunder should have another offensive opportunity here. Matherin coming through is right off the Walker screen, leaning in, loses it in the air, and they call another foul. My goodness. Matherin back to the foul line here. 15 seconds to go. My timer ran out. 15 seconds to go here. Thunder will have one last opportunity. Whew. Living at the foul line. Comes up short on that first one there. Talon Peter coming in for the Pacers. Talon. Talon. I keep calling him Talon, but it's Talon Peter. So I heard the announcer call it out. Talon Peter. Coming in for Campaign for the final defensive possession here. Presumably. Matherin missed the first one, but does knock down the second one. 4-point lead for Indiana, 58-62. Kason Wallace has it up top. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. They show two defenders. Get it over to Barnhizer. Barnhizer out to Wiggins. Wiggins a left wing three. Too strong, can't get it to go. Long rebound. Wallace has it. Chucks it up at the buzzer. Doesn't get it off in time. Did not matter. He didn't make it anyway. And that will be the end of our first half here. 62-58 at halftime. Not bad. Not bad. Pretty good game of back and forth affairs. It's been close all night. It's been close all night. We go over the box scores. And boy, oh boy, are we immediately going to run right to foul shots, free throws. Ooh, for the Pacers. 15 for 17 from the foul line. 17 first half free throws. Led by, obviously, no, that's by the Thunder. Not even bad. They've taken a lot of free throws. 14 of 18 has become a free throw fest here tonight. 14 of 18 from the foul line for the Pacers, led by Ben Matherin taking 9 first half free throws. My goodness. He's taking majority. He's taking half of the free throws on the team. Tony Bradley's taking 4 as well. You go to the Pacers. A.J. Mitchell took 5. He's done for the night with a sprained ankle. You go down to Chris Youngblood, who's also taken 5. He got fouled on a 3-point attempt and then got fouled on a layup attempt. 5 free throws for Chris Youngblood. Both of these teams getting hacked. It's a hack and whack aware. Jeez Louise, I can't speak. A hack. It's a hackathon right now. It's a hackathon right now from both sides. Just as that's in Matherin, the free throw merchant. He really might be a free throw merchant. My man, listen, he does a great job of getting to the foul line. He knows the intricacies. Whoever taught him is a menace to society. Because whoever taught Matherin how to get to the foul line, they did it too well. Matherin knows how to get to the foul line, man. He is going to get his free throws. The leading scorer for the Thunder was A.J. Mitchell before he went out with the injury, sitting at 16 points here. 16 points, 6 for 8 from the field, did not knock down a 3, took the 5 free throws, but was really quiet after the first quarter and the start of the second quarter. Got really, really quiet. Just that's it. 18 and 17 is a bunch of fouls. Yeah, it's been a hack fest so far from both sides. And, you know, you got to put the blame on the officials as well a little bit. I give the officials a little bit of blame, calling it maybe a little too tight, a little bit more tighter than it needs to be. But both of these teams are definitely hacking and whacking away. It is a hack and whack affair. So we get to some of the bench guys, and for Oklahoma City, a bunch of dudes I've never heard of personally getting minutes tonight. The only guys available for them, Josian Gortman. Shout out to my man Gortman out there playing. He put up in his 3 minutes, and granted it's only 3 minutes. He went in there after the A.J. Mitchell injury. He put up zeros across the board. Zeros across the board, except for one personal foul. You get the Chris Youngblood, who did knock down some shots, which was nice, which was cool. Judge Dats had campaign -6. That is rough for sure. Gortman didn't do a whole lot in his 3 minutes. Isaiah Joe didn't do a whole lot. He knocked down a 3, which is nice, but like, come on, brother. He's been invisible here tonight outside of that. Chris Youngblood in his 9 minutes knocked down some shots, which was great, but didn't do a whole lot outside of that. He's got zeros elsewhere. Same with Isaiah Joe, who did pick up a rebound and an assist. At least he did some sort of impact. And then Malevi Leons, the big man, who I've low-key been making fun of all night, just because he's not NBA ready. You could tell the kid is not NBA ready. They got him out there, giving him the NBA experience and whatnot, but he will likely either go overseas or go down to the G League and whatnot. Now, Dimitri said, where's Harnstein? All of the major starters for the Oklahoma City Thunder now, all the major role players for them are sitting out tonight here in this preseason action, giving a lot of their young guys and role players an opportunity to shine as main ball handlers to show what they worked on in the offseason. Right? When you have a team like this where you have the MVP on your team, you have Chet Holmgren and J-Dub who are going to continue to get better, you have Caruso, Harnstein, Dort, all these extra role players, you want to give the opportunity to guys like A.J. Mitchell and Kason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins and whatnot to just sort of show what they've been working on in the offseason as young players, because they're not going to have the ability to show it during the regular season. So give them the opportunity to experiment and show what they can do here in the preseason, and maybe earn themselves an opportunity to to garner a larger role with the team. So we get over Zach Austin. I didn't mention Zach Austin, but he didn't do a whole lot either. He was pretty invisible. Took the 1-3. He saw his opportunity. He took it. He took the 1-3. Didn't knock it down, unfortunately, for him. He does have a turnover. He does have a steal, though. Get back that turnover. 1 rebound, 2 personal fouls. Outside of that, a whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing from Zach Austin. Whole lot of nothing from Malevi Leons. Whole lot of nothing from Josian Gortman. Unfortunately, these guys obviously trying to show off their skills and maybe get a contract with another team, or maybe get a contract overseas, or possibly in the G League and whatnot. But not a great night for those guys. We go down to the Indiana Pacers, led by the free throw merchant himself, Benedict Mathurin. 4 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from three-point range, but 7 for 9 from the foul line. 16 total points from Big Ben Mathurin. He also has 6 rebounds, only the 1 assist. My man is a true Kobe Bryant disciple. I'm putting up points. I'm not worried about the rest of y'all. I'm putting up points. Campaign, the de facto point guard of the team, with DeLon Wright going down with an injury. 0 for 3 from the field. All of them come from the three-point line. 2 assists, though. Does he have turnovers? 1 turnover, 1 personal foul. Not terrible for a veteran point guard, but very clearly, boy, oh boy, were the Knicks in the gutter with their role players last year. This guy was our backup point guard for the whole season and even going into the playoffs. Rough night for Campaign here in preseason, where he kind of should be able to do what he wants, but really struggling here tonight. He did just come with the team, so he's just trying to fit in where he can get in. Isaiah Jackson, I thought, had a very impactful first half there. 1 for 2 from the field. You wouldn't be able to tell it from the box score. Only 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal and a block, a turnover, a foul. Only 3 points from Isaiah Jackson, but I thought his presence was very much felt out there, especially obviously on the defensive end, which is where he's going to get his shine this season. You get to Jarace Walker, who I think they're looking at to be like a legit, hey, man, we need you to step up and start being a role player here as we continue to develop you. We spend the first-round pick on you. We're really high on you, Jarace Walker. 1 for 6 from the field, 0 for 3 from three-point range. He does have 4 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, trying to do a little bit of everything. He is a +7. He is having a positive impact when he's out there. But, you know, also would like to see some of the counting stats show up in this as well. You get to Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin, boy, oh boy, have we seen Obi Toppin go off in meaningless games. 6 for 10 from the field, 2 for 6 from three-point range. He thrives in this kind of atmosphere where it's kind of lackadaisical in the play style and the pace. It's very chaotic. He thrives in the chaos a little bit. 14 points for Obadiah Toppin. 5 boards, 3 assists, a steal, doing a little bit of everything. Also throwing in a highlight dunk there. You get to the Pacers bench. And we only saw 8 minutes of Johnny Furphy. That may be enough for Rick Carlisle. Or maybe we get a lot more Johnny Furphy in the second half. We'll have to wait and see. But his 1 field goal that he made was the highlight of the night with the big dunk over. Who did he dunk over? Leon's. Again, Leon's involved in something not so positive. Only 4 points for Johnny Furphy, but he's going to walk away tonight with the most played play over and over and over again. Just that said, Cam was so frustrating last year. Glad we don't have to go through that again. Let's shelve that discussion until we get to some more Jordan Clarkson. Let's just shelve that discussion until we get some more Jordan Clarkson, right? Jalen Slauson got 3 minutes. Didn't do a whole lot of them. Obviously, right? Gabe McLaughlin, 4 minutes. Didn't do a whole lot. He missed his 2 threes. As a matter of fact, the 2 threes he missed, both of them air balls. Not even close. Tony Bradley got 6 minutes in there. He got to the foul line a couple of times. He's just a big dude. Jay Huff, 7 minutes, 3 personal fouls. Similarly, in a previous game where we watched the Indiana Pacers take on the Minnesota Timberwolves, Isaiah Jackson picked up 3 fouls in like the first 3 minutes of the game. So there's something about these Indiana big men who might struggle with fouls this year, especially considering that Jay Huff has not been a part of a regular rotation. Got time with the Memphis Grizzlies last year, mostly because of injury, and then once guys came back healthy, kind of fell out of the rotation. Similarly with Isaiah Jackson, was hurt most of last year, and so he wasn't a part of the rotation. And so first real part of the rotation and getting a step up in their role here, they might struggle with some consistency and foul-prone issues to start the year, but it should obviously get better as the year goes on. We got the Quentin Jackson, who had a really damn good first half there. 14 points. He was really effective. Looked really good out there. 2 boards, 2 assists, 6 for 8 from the field, 2 for 4 from three-point range. Thought he looked really comfortable, really confident. Very important for a guy like Quentin Jackson. Seems like he's going to be one of those end-of-the-bench guys who makes this Indiana team. I really like Quentin Jackson in his game. He was, again, really confident. Really confident player. Very, very self-aware of, I know who I am, and I know what I got to do, and I know what I'm capable of. Nick Yak, what's up, Yak? Happy to see you, brother. And then Taylon Peter. I really like Taylon Peter. Thought he was really good and really effective. Only played the 8 minutes. Rick Carlisle really spreading the love here. I believe that's the last guy who played, right? Yeah, really spreading the love here for Rick Carlisle, getting everybody in the action. We're probably going to see a lot more of these guys in the second half. Similar situation to what we saw in that Minnesota game that we watched, where we got to see a lot of these guys in the second half, and they were pretty fun. Taylon Peter's going to be fun. Quinn Jackson's going to be fun. Furphy's going to be fun. And then maybe we'll get some Gabe McLaughlin and Jalen Slauson threes like we had the other night that got us into that overtime period. Hopefully no overtime. We had overtime 3 nights in a row. No, we didn't. We would have had overtime 3 nights in a row, but thankfully Jonathan Mogbo saved us from an overtime game last night as the Raptors were able to pull it off against the Boston Celtics. That's what's going on with this game, but we can go quickly around the league before we get back to the start of the second half here. There's only 2 other games on. Hawks are playing the Grizzlies. They just started. They got 3 minutes to go in the first quarter here. But they are playing a lot of their guys. They are playing everybody. Should have tuned in the Hawks-Grizzlies maybe. Because Reza Shea, Johnson, Porzingis, and Trae Young, and Dyson Daniels are all playing. They're all playing. Trae Young's got 0 points. Played 6 minutes. Got 3 assists. Star players, star players are just going to come out and do their thing as quietly and as calmly as they can do it. No need to kill yourself going into the regular season. It's not real basketball. We're just getting into shape. You get to their bench. Onyeka Okongwu's pretty good. Kennard's pretty good. I even like Keaton Wallace and Vic Krejci. Vic Krejci. Other than that, I mean, Nickeil Alexander's not playing tonight. You go to the Memphis Grizzlies, and again, we watch the Grizzlies. They're fraught with injuries all over the place. Ty Jerome, KCP, Jake Londale, Jalen Wells, Santi Aldama are in the starting lineup. You guys know I love Santi Aldama, one of my favorite role players in the league. But their starters struggled quite a bit. Jalen Wells not doing much, 0 points. Santi Aldama not doing much, 0 points. KCP hit 2 threes, 6 points. Comeback season for KCP after a pretty miserable season out there in Orlando. Ty Jerome, 3 points. He knocked down, he put up a 3. Other than that, struggling to score. They went to their bench. Only got 5 points from PJ Hall. Not getting much else anywhere else. See how that continues to go on. Atlanta might be pulling away from that one. Let's get back to our Gamecast here, as we should be coming back to the start of the second half here any moment. Let's do that. Good. Ready to go. Third quarter. Throw 12 minutes back up on the clock. 24 minutes of basketball left. 2 quarters left. Let's get to it. Here we go, start of the third quarter. Campaign bringing it down. Jay Huff starts the second half. Taylon Peters starts the second half, along with Johnny Furphy and Jarace Walker. Huff in the post, kicks it out. Walker driving it down along the baseline. Throws it to nobody, but that's because they call a foul? No, they call 3 seconds, I believe. 3 seconds on Jay Huff. The Thunder come out with Barnhizer, Ousmane Dieng, Andrew Wiggins, Chris Youngblood, and Jazian Gortman. Barnhizer has it up top. Gets it over to Youngblood. Takes it out up top to Ousmane Dieng. A straightaway 3. Comes up short. Taylon Peter with the rebound. He's bringing it down the other way. Peter has it on the left wing. Takes it over to Furphy. Furphy over to Peter. Peter back over to Walker. Walker up top, looking to quickly attack. Draws a foul. He's going to go back to the foul line for 2 free throws. Yak said, did TJ start? Nope. TJ is out with an injury. We got informed that he's from Derby earlier in the chat. That the team announced he's going to be out for at least a month. At least a month. Pulled the hamstring in that previous preseason game we watched, Yak. And it was much more serious than we thought it was. Because he is out for at least a month. Walker knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Walker does miss the second free throw. Here comes Wiggins bringing it down. Wiggins coming to his left. Off a Dieng screen. Stops, turns, spins, pivots, kicks it out to Ousmane Dieng. Ousmane Dieng being guarded by Huff. Hands it off. Back over to Dieng. Dieng over to Wiggins. Wiggins swings through to his left on Furphy. Behind the back, little fall away mid-range jumper. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Taylon Peter rips it away from Barnhizer. Here comes Campaign pushing the other way. Payne gets it over to Walker. Walker quickly attacking. Quick crossover to his left. Down the lane, scoop blade with the left hand. Gets the foul and 1 for Jarace Walker as he goes back to the foul line. 10:40 to go here in the third. Yak said, so Cam looks like a starter? Good luck. Hasn't done much here tonight. As a matter of fact, has done hardly anything. Campaign has. Trace Walker knocks down his free throw. His and one free throw. Pushing it to an 8-point lead already for the Pacers. Pacers might start to run away with this one. Get it over to Ousmane Dieng, driving it down. Cross-court pass. Youngblood, a three. He's hit two already tonight. Way off on that one. Hit the backboard first. Walker picks up the rebound behind the back. Throws a lob. Talon Peter two-handed slam out on the fast break. And a 10-point lead has opened up for the Indiana Pacers. And if we start to see this one blow open, we might end the night early. Might not be a fourth quarter affair as Barnhizer draws a foul, knocks down the floater. They're going to give him the and one there. They're going to give him the and one there on the continuation for Barnhizer. He's going to go to the foul line for one more. Barnhizer knocks down the free throw. Ten minutes to go here in the third quarter. Payne gets it over to Furphy, swings it out to Walker. Thunder are in what appears to be a 3-2 zone. They kick it out to Peter in the right corner. Gets that one to go down. Talon Peter. Hooping now, 4 for 5 from the field, up to 10 points. It might be a Talon Peter night. Might be a Talon Peter second half. Is that Gortman crossing over? Getting fouled by Peter on the crossover. Ten-point lead for the Pacers here. They quickly get it into Wiggins, driving it down, can't get the layup to go, looking for the foul call, doesn't get it. Here comes Campaign pushing the other way. Payne gets it over to Furphy. Furphy left corner three, can't get it to go. Peter fighting for it, can't keep it alive. Ousmane Dieng picks it up. He's got a running start, pulling it back out. Ousmane Dieng gets it over to Barnhizer. Barnhizer's got nowhere to go with it, directing traffic, gets it up top to Wiggins. Wiggins coming to his left, driving it down against Peter. Stops, turns, spins, kicks it out to Gortman. Gortman slips and falls, turns it over. Here comes Furphy pushing it the other way. Furphy's got a lane of the basket. He's going to take it, and he's just going to go for the scoop layup. We saw Furphy get the hammer poster dunk before. We're just going to get a scoop layup there. And what happened to my score? Did I give 3 points to the wrong side? I might have given 3 points to the wrong side. I did give 3 points to the wrong side, and there's the 3 points. There's the layup for Furphy, 73-61. 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And if Indiana starts to pull away, we might also start to pull away, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I said nothing like Knicks game. I guess other fans feel that way about their own team. I'd like to think so. I think for the most part they do. The difference is that when we watched the Knicks play on what day was that? Thursday against Minnesota. They went on like an 11-0 run, and it sounded like a playoff game in the Garden. Like that's the difference. There's nobody in the arena here tonight for the Thunder. But we're packing that arena to watch the Knicks play a preseason game just because we're happy to see our Knicks back. There is nothing quite like watching a Knicks game. Coming from somebody who loves basketball. I love watching these other teams play. But man, oh man, is there nothing like watching a Knicks game. Few teams have that. Boston's got it a little bit. When Philly's good, Philly can have it. Golden State used to have it. They don't have it anymore because they moved over there to San Francisco. And those rich people in San Francisco, they don't give you that die-hard fan feel that the people out in Oakland did. This was a Thunder timeout. So we're going to come back, and it's going to be Thunder basketball. But we get the day off tomorrow, Yak, and we will be back on Monday when the Knicks take on. Who are the Knicks playing? Charlotte? Washington? Charlotte, Washington. Who do we play on Monday again? One of those two teams. They play the Wizards. Washington Wizards. 7:30 start time. Prime time, Madison Square Garden. Let's get it going. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Dallas, Charlotte is also tipped off. Cooper Flag is playing. It just started. So maybe we'll go through it at the end of the quarter, and we might end the night there. We might. Depending how the rest of this quarter goes. Are we going to get interesting basketball? Zach Austin, the left corner three. Got it to go, Zach Austin. Okay, I didn't know you were like that, Zach Austin. Murphy gets it over to Walker. Walker gets it over to Huff. Huff has it up top. Fakes the handoff. Gets it over to Peter. Peter coming to his right. Brings it out to Murphy. Murphy's going to pump fake. Drive it in to the rim. Nice layup against the contest there of Ousmane Dieng and Barnhizer. Not really shot blockers, but still nice finish through contact. Barnhizer spins down low, gets swallowed up by Jay Huff. Rejected right out of there. And Peter, who Murphy fell to the floor. He cuts up with a limp. And the Thunder are going to use a timeout to get him off the court. Might be the second rolled ankle we see here tonight. 8:13 to go here in the third. Coming back from a timeout, we're going right back to a timeout. Yak said Indiana really loves basketball also. True. This game is in, where is this game? This game, I believe, is in Oklahoma City. I believe this is an OKC home game. Right? Where does it say? Right here. Oh, no, it's in Indiana. The arena is quite empty. I will say that. Indiana does love basketball, but they don't love it enough to watch the preseason games, I guess. Crowd's been okay. Hasn't been terrible, but it is quite empty. A lot of these teams can get there during the regular season and during the playoffs, during big moments, Yak. Like Indiana, like Portland can get there with the Trailblazers when they're really good and they're rocking and rolling. Like the Portland Arena can get there. We know about Golden State back in the day in Oakland, Philly, Boston, obviously New York. Like a lot of these bigger markets. Even Miami can get there. Miami, known as a fan base that doesn't get too hyped and whatnot. They got the infamous walking out of the finals game early before the Heat make that comeback and whatnot. But even Miami could even get there. So a lot of teams can get there. But what I'm talking about is like showing up for the preseason game, showing up for game 27 against the Washington Wizards, who are on an 8-game losing streak. And it's like, we don't need to watch that game. It's like, no, New York is going to watch that game. Few teams are like that. Yeah, I said, I bet Halliburton has something to do with empty seats. Maybe. No Tyrese Halliburton. But, it's a preseason game where none of the starters started. Tonight we had Mathurin. Who started? Mathurin, Toppin, Isaiah Jackson, Campaign, and who was the fifth starter? I can't even really remember. But none of the star players played. And then obviously for the Thunder, none of the star players played. So that obviously also has a big factor in it as well. Oh, yep. Johnny Murphy rolled the ankle on Jay Huff after the made layup, and so he is also done for the night. So here we go, checking right back in. They get it into Campaign, and the Thunder are in a 2-3 zone. Campaign sprays it over to Walker. Walker, they spray it out. Peter, a right wing three, can't get it to go, but a foul on Zach Austin is going to send Peter to the foul line for 2 free throws. And we're back to the foul line. Back to the foul line, y'all. Back to the foul line. Been a foul fest. It has for sure been a foul fest here tonight. And Malevi Leones is going to enter the game again. He comes in for Barnheiser. The refs are going to take a look at this to see if it meets the criteria of a reckless closeout and therefore a flagrant foul. Great. Got 8 minutes to go. Pacers are on a 17-6 run. It's giving them this 11-point lead. We were tied at halftime. Pacers have an 11-point lead here. They might start to run away with this thing if they could just pull themselves together here. Aaron Wiggins, 2 for 11 from the field, is not helping anybody. Hitting not only 6 points, he continues to play the game. Kason Wallace is done for the night. It does meet the criteria for a reckless closeout with flagrant foul 1. Going to send him to the foul line for 3 free throws. Taylor Peter to the foul line for 3 free throws, and Indiana will retain possession after the free throws. Taylor Peter at the foul line for 3 free throws, knocks down the first one, a perfect free throw. Just as Dad said, the East is as wide open this year as it gets. It does. That's why if you're the Knicks, you got to go all in. Got to go all in. Peter steps to the foul line. Ooh, makes the first 2, but misses the last free throw. (77-64), a 13-point lead for Indiana, and they get the ball back here. And Oklahoma City is in that zone. Payne, over to Peter. Peter back to Payne. Payne's going to pump fake, drive it down in the lane, throws a lob up to Jay Huff. He didn't know if it was a lob or if it was a floater from Payne. He went up for the lob, but then pulled his hands back, and then on the other end, they call a travel on the Thunder. Walker gets it over to McLaughlin. Gets it back to Peter. Peter over to Payne. Payne coming to his right. Settles for a straightaway 3. Payne can't get it to go. Jay Huff with the offensive rebound. There are no bigs in the game. Oh my goodness, just turns and dunks it down. Okay, Big Huff. You guys know I'm a Jay Huff fan. Am I giving points on the wrong side? I am giving points on the wrong side. My bad. 64-79. 15-point lead for the Pacers here. Wiggins leaning in, gets blocked by McLaughlin. On the help side, it looked like. Maybe Huff got a piece of it. Trace Walker has it on the right wing. Gets it over to Huff in the post. Cross-court pass to McLaughlin. He's going to pump fake, drive the baseline. Throws up a wild shot, but draws the foul. Back to the foul line. Yak said, to me, trading kids for Shaman isn't all in 2-guard 6. It is when you don't think the kids can help you win basketball games this year. Jay Huff with the fake handoff, driving it down. Shot clock running down. You got to chuck it up. They do get it off in time. No, they don't get it off in time. It didn't matter. Peter missed, came up short on the 3 anyway. Aaron Wiggins bringing it down against Peter. Really rough night for Aaron Wiggins here. Driving to his right. Takes it out to Chris Youngblood. A straightaway 3. He hit 2. Make it 3 threes now. His first of the second half. 6:30 to go here in the third quarter. Halfway through. Almost halfway through. Approaching the halfway point. Payne bringing it down. Gets it over to Walker. Back to Payne. And then a 3 seconds on Malevi Leones. So a free point for the Pacers. Up 12, trying to be up 13. Walker knocks down the free throw. Peter will inbound it. Thunder still in that zone. Peter gets it over to Payne. Payne back to Peter. Peter back to Payne. Playing some catch there. Gets it out to Walker. Walker inside pass to Jay Huff, who's just torturing Malevi Leones right now. Just put him in the torture chamber right now. The kid is not ready for the NBA level, and Jay Huff is in full force showing him. And on the other end, Aaron Wiggins attacking the basket. Peter slides in and draws the charge on him, and Aaron Wiggins' tumultuous night continues. Not able to get anything going. Under 6 minutes to go. We're officially past the halfway point. Walker over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin gets it over to Peter. Peter gets it over to Payne. Payne over to Peter. Peter, a right wing three. Can't get it to go. A rebound by Ousmane Dieng, who's going to bring it down. Quick crossover to his left, putting his head down, attacking, draws the foul. Is it a foul on the floor? The side out of bounds, or are we giving him free throw? Side out of bounds, foul on the floor. Yak said, who is Shaman ahead of that can play two guard? Bridges, Hart, Clarkson, McBride, Brogdon, all off ball. Brunson, he isn't getting minutes unless multiple injuries. Yeah, man. Nobody is expecting Shaman to get injuries, big dog. But what happens when those injuries come? Are you going to trust Dadier in a playoff situation, or are you going to trust Shaman? That is the decision they're making. They're not going to get Shaman because they want a part of the rotation. Dadier is not going to be a part of the rotation. A block on Walker, a block by Walker on Malevi Leones. Walker brings it down, gets it inside the Huff. He's got post positioning. He lays it up and in. This is a grown man game right now from Jay Huff. He's being guarded by Ousmane Dieng and Malevi Leone, who they're just not big men in the NBA, not capable of guarding Jay Huff whatsoever. A pull-up three by Ousmane Dieng is an air ball out of bounds off of Leone's. Ball going back to the Pacers here, who are now up by 17 points, 84-67. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. To get it over to Jay Huff up top, spins towards the basket, gets his pocket picked by Zach Austin. Austin shoves it over to Dieng. Dieng in transition to three. Can't get that one to go. Good box out and rebound by McLaughlin. He's going to bring it down the other way. Is that McLaughlin? No, that's Slauson. Excuse me. Slauson with the rebound. Inside pass to Huff again, and this time gets fouled by Ousmane Dieng, as again, they have no answers for him. They got no answers for him. He's just a grown man down there, a man amongst boys. Jose, what's up, Jose? Thanks for the color commentary. I appreciate you, brother. How you doing tonight, Jose? How you doing tonight? This is starting to get ugly. It's starting to get real ugly. 17-point lead for the Pacers, and the Thunder just don't have the players or the bodies to really go to. So this might be our final quarter of the night. We might wrap it up here at the end of the third. Get it into Walker. Quickly sprays it out. A three by Ray J. Dennis. Ray J back in the game, y'all. Shout out Ray J. Dennis. Cross-court pass to Peter. Catches. Pump fake. Dribbling it in. Kicks it out to Walker. Shot clock winding down. They run him off the line. He's going to dance with it. A step back. Pump fake. Now throws it up with the buzzer expiring. Halfway down. Can't get it to stay, though. Barnheiser with the rebound. He's going to bring it down the other way. Slauson will pick him up for the Pacers. Coming to his left, stops, turns, leans in, pulls it all the way back out, hands it off to Youngblood. Youngblood takes it up top. Leones, pump fakes, driving it in. Scoop layup with the right hand. Got it to go over Jay Huff. Right back at you, big dog. Finally got one over Jay Huff, who's been torturing him all night long. So Leones is at the foul line for one free throw off the and one. Gets it to go down with a nice soft touch off the front rim. 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Ray J. Dennis, the legend. Ray J. Dennis has it up top. Gets it inside to Walker. Walker shoves it over to Jay Huff right through his hands. Got to catch those, brother. Got to catch those. Leon's bringing it down. Up top to Barnheiser, excuse me. Leon's gets it over to Zach Austin, coming to his left off the screen, off the handoff screen. Little fall away mid-range jumper. Fight for the rebound is Barnheiser, and he gets fouled by Slauson. So Barnheiser's at the foul line for 2 free throws. Said I know I wouldn't trade a kid who could also play small forward for Shamit, who might be a little better if a disaster of injuries happens. From what Dadier has shown so far through Summer League and through preseason, he is absolutely not better than Shamit right now. Will he be better than Shamit? Yeah, most likely. But they don't care about next season. They don't care about 2 seasons from now. They care about this season. Who's better this season? Shamit is definitely, without a doubt, better than Pacom Dadier this season. Without a doubt. McLaughlin has it up top. Gets it over to Ray J. Dennis. Dennis back to McLaughlin. The no hesitation right wing 3. Well contested. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Chris Youngblood comes flying in for the rebound. Zach Austin. Home run pass to Barnheiser. Full head of steam. Kicks it out to nobody as he turns it over. Slauson picks it off. Slauson bringing it down the other way. Home run pass to Peter. A left corner 3 for Peter. Splashes it nothing but net. Taylor Peter, man. He's really good. The Pacers did it again. They got another one. The Thunder swinging it around, and McLaughlin ends up running into Chris Youngblood as they were just swinging the ball around. Chris Bakersville. Let's go, Ray J. Ray J. Dennis doing his thing, brother. Doing his thing. He said, what's good? Need the Pacers to win. Money line over 234. Well, they're going to win. But it doesn't look like you're going to get to 234. Doesn't look like with the way the Thunder are playing. Unless Indiana does most of the heavy lifting and gets to like 140, I don't think you're going to be able to get to 234. I guess they don't have to get to 130. But if they can't get to like 120, which they might be able to, but Thunder are not going to be able to put up the points, especially coming up here in the 4th quarter. Excuse me. Ray J. Dennis bringing it down. Dennis has it up top. Cross-court pass to nobody. It's picked off by Zach Austin. Gordman with the pump fake, driving it down. Inside pass to Leons. Gets swatted at the rim by Jay Huff. Home run pass to Dennis. Dennis is going to drive it down. Loses the handle. Throws it inside. Fighting for it. Leons pulls it out. Leons calling for a ball handler. Here comes Gortman, bringing it down for the Thunder. 87-71, 2:15 to go. Zach Austin, no, that's Gortman, excuse me, steps through. Wild shot at the rim. Way off, not even close. Ray J. Dennis has it on the right wing. Driving it down. Up top to Peter. Peter, transition 3, gets it to go. They wave it off and they say foul on Jay Huff. They should count the 3, and it should still be a foul on Jay Huff, but they should count that 3. I think they should still count that 3. So the refs are going to review it real quick to see if the shot should count or not. If it came before or after the basket. I don't know. Hard to tell there. That's Jay Huff's 5th foul. I think that shot should count. I think it should count. Chris said OKC only pull up 13 this quarter, shaking my head. They didn't play anybody, and so down to the end of the bench guys, they got Barnheiser, Zach Austin, Malevi Leons, Chris Youngblood, and Javian Gortman. So the three-point shot from Taylor Peter counts, who, by the way, is on a little bit of a heater here. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 2-minute warning. But, yeah, they're down to the deep end of the bench guys. And I've never even heard of these guys. I mean, shout out to them. They're trying to make the league, obviously. But it's been rough. It's been rough with the Thunder. And you know, Aaron Wiggins is done for the night. Kayson Wallace is done for the night. So these dudes, rough. It's a rough watch. So we're probably going to get to the end of the third quarter here and end it for the night. Because I don't think anything interesting is going to happen in this fourth quarter. No need to hang around for a meaningless quarter here in the preseason. Chris Youngblood's at the foul line because he did get fouled by Jay Huff. Knocks down the first one. He's got another one coming. Chris Youngblood gets both free throws to go. 90-73, under 2 to go. Ray J. Dennis bringing it down. The legend Ray J. Dennis. Gets it over to McLaughlin. Gets it up top to Walker. Walker over to Peter. Peter over to Dennis. Thunder are in that zone. They don't have man-to-man defenders, so they're just going to hang out in the zone. Peter's been feeling it. Puts up another three. Can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball rebound. Can't pull it down. Malevi Leones bringing it down now. Leones has it up top, dancing with it. Now up top to Gortman. Gortman coming to his left. Sprays it over to Austin. Austin hands it off to Barnhizer. He's going to look to attack Walker off the bounce. Now over to Gortman. Gortman's going to look to dance. And the offensive foul on Gortman. 1:15 to go here in the third quarter. Yak said, hit the like button. It helps a good dude. I appreciate you, Yak. I appreciate you. We are getting close to the end of the night. Got 1 minute left to go here. Out to Ray J. Dennis, the legend for a three. In and out halfway down, but he can't get it to stay. Here comes Barnhizer bringing it down. Dancing with it. Coming to his left. Hands it off. Swings through. Down the lane is Zach Austin. Loses the handle. Gets it over to Chris Youngblood. Puts up the three. Can't get it to go. Slauson with the rebound. Here comes Ray J. Dennis. 40 seconds to go. Over to Walker. Walker a dribble pull-up three. No hesitation. Comes up short. Barnhizer with the rebound. Now we're off and running. Now we got some NBA action. We're not knocking down shots, but we're getting up and down the court now. This is no longer becoming a half-court game. Barnhizer has it. Stops. Pivots. Turns. Kicks it out to Gortman. Now over to Austin. And no hesitation three. Almost banks it in. That's how off it was. Slauson with the rebound. Gets it over to Walker. They're going to hold it for what should be the final shot of the quarter. About a 3-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Ray J. Dennis has it up top being guarded by, is that Austin or Gortman? That is Gortman, I believe. Ray J. Dennis being guarded by Gortman. And Gortman came up with the steal, but they called a foul on him. So Ray J. Dennis is at the foul line for 2 free throws. Knocks down the first one. Ray J. Dennis with one more. Comes up short, misses it. Barnhizer with the rebound. He's going to run it down as fast as he can. Bounce pass to Austin, and Austin gets fouled. What are we doing fouling in this spot? So Zach Austin's going to get 2 free throws. Zach Austin's already hit a 3 tonight. Has the opportunity to add to it. Knocks down the first free throw. Got one more coming. With 2 seconds to go, Indiana may look to get this heave up. Get it over to Walker. Walker with the half-court heave. And that will end it. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us here tonight. Didn't turn out to be a great game. OKC didn't play their guys. If only they did. I did notice SGA played the other night. Figured we might get some fun stuff from them. But unfortunately, not going to get that tonight. You win some, you lose some. We didn't have the greatest of games tonight. Didn't have a whole lot to look forward to. But Kay Hazy said Austin looks like his name should be Kopi Arenas. Chris Bakersville said, wish me luck, I need 70. Oof. It's going to be a rough quarter from OKC. I mean, Indiana will give you the points, but I don't know if OKC is going to give you a ton of help there. 91-75 is the end of the third quarter. It is going to continue to be a runaway game for Indiana here. But that's going to be it. Appreciate y'all. We will be off tomorrow, doing games Monday through Saturday. Sundays I'm off, unless the Knicks are playing. So we're going to be off tomorrow, but we will be back on Monday with our New York Knicks taking on the Washington Wizards. Not the greatest competition, but we do get to watch our New York Knicks play basketball again. So I very much appreciate everybody. Remember, brush your teeth before bed, take a shower, get a good night rest, drink some water, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Kay Hazy, Chris Bakersville, Nick Yak, appreciate y'all. Jose, AP was in the chat earlier. Justice's dad, of course. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me tonight. And on the next one, I'll catch y'all. Good night, everybody. Bye.